The following is yet another high school sports presentation brought to you by the high school sports leader in North Texas, 92.1 FM KXEZ, the Possum.
Temperatures are dropping, the brisk air is blowing, and that can only mean one thing. It's playoff time in Texas. We're coming to you from Globe Life Field in Arlington, where we're set to bring you this 5A area-round playoff matchup that is all too familiar between the Frisco Raccoons and the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. Hello, everyone, and welcome. You're tuned in to 92.1 FM KXEZ. I'm Ethan Herrera. Thanks for joining us this evening. Tonight's area-round matchup features two teams who, like I said, have a familiarity with one another. For the fourth straight year, these two programs will clash in this very same playoff round. The Golden Bears from South Oak Cliff come in with an overall record of 10-1, winners of District 6-5A, coming off a by-district round victory over Everman last week, 49-28. On the other side, the Frisco Raccoons come in with an identical record of 10-1, winners of their District 7-5A. They come off a victory, of course, in the by-district round to Royce City, who also faced them last year in that first round, 48-28. Big-time playoff football happening in 5A. We're coming from Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. When we come back, we're going to preview this matchup that we've seen for the past 4 years on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM KXEZ, sponsors for today's area-round matchup on KXEZ, Smith's Quality Greenhouses and Matt's Rancho Martinez Tex-Mex. Also, if you can't get us here at 92.1 FM at KXEZ, you can hear us anywhere in the world and hear our games on TuneIn Radio. So go to the TuneIn Radio app or TuneInRadio.com. Click on 92.1 KXEZ. Hear us anywhere in the world. Tell your out-of-town family and friends about TuneIn Radio. Let's talk about this Frisco Raccoons team. 10-1 overall, 7-1 in their district. They come out winners in that district. That's 7-5A, Division II for those Raccoons. We'll talk a little bit about their playoff history. Since 1943, folks, yes, 1943, they are 25-28-1 in the playoffs. Let's make it a little bit more recent. Since 2010, they've had 8 playoff appearances, and they passed the area round 5 times, and now 2 years in a row, like I'll mention all night long, the 4th year in a row playing this South Oak Cliff team. They've never, ever in their history have made it past the 3rd round. I say that back when the districts were a little bit more compressed back in 1973. That, well, I will say, is the only time they've made it past this 3rd round of playoffs in 1973. I talked about it, 4th year in a row meeting the South Oak Cliff team in this area round. 2018, we'll start there. They lost that first matchup 48-16 against these Golden Bears. And in 2019, finally came away with a win, 18-0. It's been a defensive game since then. 2020, if you listen to 92.1 FM KXEZ for a year now, maybe a little bit less than that, you would have heard that we called that game from Kincaid Stadium in South Dallas last year, 19-17. It was a product of a last-second field goal from Frisco to put them over the edge against South Oak Cliff. They won that one 19-17. Chase Lowry, if you've known Frisco football, was absolutely phenomenal. Ran a kick return back to about the 15-yard line. Then a freshman kicker came in and put the ball right through the upright to win the game for Frisco. Last year, after they did win that game, they lost to Aledo 45-27, who, as you know, is a fantastic football team going on 4 straight state championships. They lost that one in the regional match, and they were 8-2 on the year in the regular season. The year before that, they lost to Ennis 17-0. They were 11-2 in that season. We'll talk about Coach Jeff Harbert for a second. He's a product of Southeastern Oklahoma State University, the now head coach for the Frisco High Raccoons. He started coaching at Irving Nimitz in 2004, and in 2005, that's when he began with Frisco High as the freshman running back linebackers coach. From there, He worked his way up the totem pole. 2005 to 2009, he was the varsity linebackers coach. After that, in 2010 to 2014, became the defensive coordinator. 2015 to 2018, for 3 seasons, was the assistant head coach and still the defensive coordinator. Then finally, from 2005, since 2005, got his shot in 2019 as the head coach, and he is in his 3rd year as the Frisco High head coach with a record of 29-5. The last game, the by-district round against Royce City, the Frisco Raccoons won 48-28. Frisco amassed 535 total yards in that game, 154 coming in the air, 381 coming on the ground. They are the area's best rushing offense at 336.6 yards per game. Wyatt Carson last week, 11-16. That is 69%, 154 yards, 2 touchdown passes, 9 carries for 69 yards. Does it a little bit both ways, not afraid to run. Jordan Hamilton last week, 14 carries, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns, a reception for 19 yards as well. Brandon Mayazono had 6 carries, 90 yards, and a touchdown. 3 receptions, 18 yards for him. Dylan Harden, who does a lot of work on the ground and receiving through the air. 4 carries, 21 yards, and a touchdown. 3 receptions, 33 yards. It wasn't quite the Frisco team that we saw all year long, but they got the job done against Royce City. A.J. Yasili, I'll mention, 6 carries, 43 yards, and a touchdown last week against Royce City. Also had a receiving touchdown, 3 catches for 54 yards, and that touchdown. That's the rundown for Frisco. We'll talk about their season stats a little bit later on here in the pregame show as our countdown to kickoff continues. When we come back, we'll talk about this South Oak Cliff team that is one mighty program down there on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. If you love plants like we do here at KXEZ, you'll protect them with a quality greenhouse from Smith Quality Greenhouses. Metal and portable buildings, cabins, and outdoor decor. You name it. Call Dustin Smith at 903-268-1694. That's 903-268-1694. You'll like Dustin and be glad you made the call. He's a good friend of 92.1 FM at KXEZ. That's Smith Quality Greenhouses. This South Oak Cliff team, ranked number 5 in the state of Texas in 5A, comes in at 10-1, 8-0 in district play. First coming out of that District 6 5A. A little bit about their playoff history. Since 1954, 25-33, they've had 33 playoff appearances, 19 consecutive. This is where it gets a little crazy, folks. Since 2000, they've only missed the playoffs 1 time, and that was in 2002. The last time they made it to the 4th round, though, the winners of this 3rd round, was 1970. So both of these teams are kind of in that wave where they can get to the playoffs, have a little bit of the success, but they can't quite get over that hump. They lost to Wiley and Ennis back in 2013 and 2014 when they made it to the regional round. And then 2016, 2018, they had a regional appearance where they lost to Mesquite, Poteet, and Aledo. So both these teams have made it to the 4th round, but they haven't made it past that in a very long time. They enjoyed a lot of playoff success, like I mentioned, but they can't seem to get over that kind of hump. And since 2010, they've been district champions, I should say, every single year except 2013 and 2019. 21 district championships, no state championships, though. They're really trying to get the ground running and hit the ground running in this 3rd round matchup. Let's talk about Jason Todd, the head coach for the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. In his 7th season as the head coach with a record of 65-19. Undefeated in the regular season in 2018. He's got that kind of defensive mindset, as he told the Dallas Morning News, that it's kind of old school. You don't see it as much, and he really wants to establish the defensive side of the ball more than anything. Coach Todd was a product of Texas Southern and Texas A&M Commerce. In 2001 to 2005, he was the assistant coach at Lincoln High School. and then went to Skyline 2005 to 2014. He was the defensive coordinator over there at Skyline. In 2014, he made the transition over to South Oak Cliff, where he was the assistant head coach. And then 1 year there, 2015, until now, of course, he is the head coach of these Golden Bears. This season has been kind of crazy for this South Oak Cliff team. They lost their first game to a 6A powerhouse, Duncanville, and then they went on an absolute tear, winning 10 in a row. In their week 3 through week 6, the second game of the year, they had a forfeit, which pushed them ahead, and they've won 10 in a row. They outscored their opponents 233-10, folks. Ridiculous. In the regular season, 9 wins in a row. They've outscored their opponents 488-31. I mean, ridiculous. All led by Kevin Henry Jennings, who's committed to Missouri State. He committed there Monday, actually. And he's played, they've won every single regular season game this year by 38 or more points. They have been absolutely unstoppable since that week 1 loss versus Duncanville. Well, it looks like South Oak Cliff won the toss and has elected to kick off, and they defer to the second half. So we will see the 4th installment of the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears and the Frisco Raccoons in round 4. Round 2, I beg your pardon. Round 4 of the matchup here in the area round of the Texas 5A High School Playoff. The Frisco Raccoons coming in wearing their blue jerseys, white pants, white helmets, white trim on the jerseys with a little bit of gold around those numbers. For South Oak Cliff, they'll be wearing white on white on white. White helmets, white jerseys, white pants with a similar style of numbers, but golden numbers. Beautiful uniforms, beautiful night for some football. Texas high school playoff football, that is. Lining up to kick off for South Oak Cliff, Diego Varela, the 6'1", 150-pound sophomore. Stands at the 30-yard line. Ball sits at the 40-yard line. To return for the Frisco Raccoons awaits Drew Johnson. Out to the left side, kicked off, fielded at the 10-yard line, but muffled. Gets back, has some space. The 20-yard line, out to the left side, back to the middle of the field, and down he goes, close to the 20-yard line, and that is where the Frisco Raccoons will take over. They're led out there by Wyatt Carson. Carson, the 5'10", 175-pound senior, comes in, leading this Frisco team to a district championship and trying to move them on right here. Last week, Carson, 11 for 16, 154 yards and 2 touchdowns. You hear the band getting into it. Carson lines up under center, comes around, hands it right back up the middle of the 20-yard line, down past that 20, and gets down to the 23. On that carry was Brandon Mayazono. Mayazono on the year, 67 carries for 765 yards, 11.4 per carry. He does the grunt work. Kind of has started off. Him and Bradford Martin will do a lot of that, going back and forth, exchanging those running back duties. Mayazono on the year also has 10 touchdowns. So he is absolutely fantastic. It'll be 2nd and 6. And up goes right back at the middle to Mayazono, past the 25-yard line, close to a first down mark. We'll see what they mark him down as. Mayazono with 2 runs to start the ball game off. Right up the middle, through the tackles, and down past the 30-yard line. First down goes to the Frisco Raccoons. Ball ball will be placed at the 32-yard line. Just a minute off the clock here in the first quarter. Bunch set. They come around, hand it again to Maiazono off the left side. Next man miss, 35-40. Still pushing the pile and down to the 44-yard line. It's been all Maiazono so far as he powers his way for a big gain on first down, the third play of the game from scrimmage for the Frisco Raccoons. A big hole on that left side, and that's really where they're going to run the ball. Cole Hudson, big-time offensive tackle for the Frisco Raccoons, committed to UT earlier this year, and he's an early grad, so he's going to graduate here in the fall. And Cole Hudson, the outstanding offensive tackle, will start college in the spring, so good luck to him and the Hudson family in that. Under center goes Carson, again to Maiazono, to the left side, past the 45, past the 50, past the 45 on the other side, and down he goes at the 40-yard line. Big-time run by Brandon Maiazono. Really just feeding him. He's doing a great job so far here in the first quarter. Nothing but Maiazono on the ground. Another first down and inside South Oak Cliff territory. Kind of taking the time off the clock as much as possible because they know this South Oak Cliff team can be dangerous as well. 9:52 on the clock, 0-0 here to start the area round. Another handoff, left side, Maiazono past the 40-yard line, gets it to the 37-yard line. Nice run on first down. A couple yard gain. So they get 2nd and 7. Will be at the 37-yard line. Nothing but Brandon Maiazono on the ground, have not tested the air. That's something that they'll do. They are the area's leading rushing team at 336 yards per game. They have been that's been their mojo. Right up the middle run and breaking it outside. Maiazono left side after the under center snap. Carson hands it off to the left side and another big gain. Gets him down to the 30-yard line. Now from the left hash mark. 8:50 and counting here in the first quarter, 0-0 in the area round, the second round of the Texas 5A high school playoffs, and the fourth time in a row this South Oak Cliff team has played this Frisco Raccoons team in this round. So they know each other pretty well. Some of those guys who have played here since their freshman year know this team very well. Under center again, Carson hands up the middle and a flag comes in from the 30-yard line before the play gets going.
Replay, first down.
We heard the official call the false start, 5 yards backwards. Go the Frisco Raccoons, bringing up a 1st and 15 from the 35-yard line. Officially, it will be the 34. Haven't seen anything from Wyatt Carson, but now a new running back comes in. That's Jordan Hamilton. They hand it right up the middle and nothing. Can't get anything going after they've been moving the ball well on first down with Maiazono. I like to go with Jordan Hamilton, who's had a nice year, 65 carries, 626 yards, and 10 touchdowns on 9.6 yards per carry, but can't get anything to go on that first down run. Gain of nothing. 2nd and 15 from the 34-yard line. Actually, it'll be a loss of 4. It'll be 2nd and 19 from the 38-yard line. So let's see if they go through the air here on 2nd and long with 7.5 to go here in the first quarter. 0-0 the score. Under center again. Carson hands it off to the left side. Hamilton pushing past the 40-yard line and still nothing. That South Oak Cliff defensive line comes in and causes havoc. Third and 19, 7:04 and counting in the first quarter, 0-0 the score. First possession of the game for Frisco, first possession of the game for any team. South Oak Cliff kind of loading the box now. A couple of linebackers get in and crowd the line. Under center goes Wyatt Carson. Man in motion, left to right, hands it up the middle and down he goes. Absolutely no running room at all, as Jordan Hamilton couldn't get in, but an offside penalty comes in.
5-yard penalty, remains third down.
Offside, and that'll move them up 5 yards. Kind of an odd play call early. They ran the ball right up the middle, but got nothing. Kind of got bailed out right there. The 5-yard penalty pushes them up, 5 yards. It'll still be third and long from the 32-yard line. Man in motion, left to right. Wyatt Carson drops back and thrown to the ground. Down he goes. Big-time sack for South Oak Cliff. Going in to make that play for the Golden Bears, Brandon Jones, the 6-foot, 175-pound sophomore for the Golden Bears. And that'll bring up fourth down for Frisco. So send the punt unit out there. On to punt for the Raccoons, Mason Stallings, who hit that game-winning field goal a year ago in this round. Stallings, good snap, gets it away. Out to the middle of the field, that's Javon Thomas at the 10-yard line. Dances around, makes a couple of men miss, past the 15-yard line, gets outside the hash mark. Now going to left side, 25-30, 35-40, 45-50. Outside the numbers on the left side. Stallings takes them down. And a huge return by Javon Thomas for South Oak Cliff, deep inside Frisco territory. A punt that was at the 10-yard line, and Thomas took it all the way to the opposite 40. And sets up this South Oak Cliff Golden Bears team perfectly for their first possession of the night. Leading them out there will be the man, Kevin Henry Jennings, the Missouri State commit. Committed there on Monday in the shotgun to the left hash mark, going right to left. Man in motion, left to right, 2 receivers on the other side of the formation. Jennings hands it to the middle to Thomas. Out to the left side, past the 40, dancing around, and powers his way past the 35-yard line to the 30. On that run, I beg your pardon, was Keandre Hollywood, the 5'9", 160-pound senior. Keandre Hollywood, 59 carries, 783 yards, 12 touchdowns. This time lines up in the shotgun, Henry Jennings. From the left hash mark, Hollywood to the left of him. Hand off the middle. Comes to the right side, off the right tackle, and gets out of a tackle in the backfield. Dances around, and this time gets thrown to the ground by Ismail Taylor, one of those great defensive backs for this Frisco team. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play. Back to the 32-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 12 from the middle of the field. Shotgun, 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Kevin Henry Jennings, low snap, play action, drops back, has a pocket, now gets rushed out to the right side, looks downfield, drifting to the right, tucks in and runs. Down the right sideline, gets a few yards across the line of scrimmage, and will get the ball down to the 27-yard line. Nice gain by Kevin Henry Jennings to make something happen right there. Gets rushed out. Coming in was Kennedy Sims to try to drop down Henry Jennings in the backfield, but Jennings using his legs, who is a definite dual threat at the quarterback position. He's been fantastic. 2 receivers on either side. 3rd and 9 for South Oak Cliff. Now trips to the left side, man in motion, right to left. Kevin Henry Jennings in the shotgun. Hollywood to the left of him. Hands off the middle, off to the right side. Has some space. 20, 15, 10. Spin move, right to left. Dances in the end zone. Touchdown. Quaylen Ferreira comes in, his first rush of the game, and takes it 31 yards for a touchdown. They open up the scoring here in the area round. For Ferreira, that was his 12th touchdown of the year. On to try the extra point is Diego Varela, the 6'1", 150-pound sophomore for South Oak Cliff. Hold is down, kick is up, and it's good. South Oak Cliff leading this one 7-0 over the Frisco Raccoons on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ, a 31-yard touchdown run by Quaylen Ferrer comes in to start the scoring for South Oak Cliff and the Golden Bears. Varela will kick off. Fielded at the 12-yard line at the 15, 20, gets back to the left side and down near the right hash mark, going left to right. And the Frisco Raccoons will take over right there. .4:14 on the clock in the first. Wyatt Carson will lead this team back out there. They're moving the ball quite well to start, as Brandon Maiazono had a bunch of carries and was running the ball well, but kind of stalled out. Jordan Hamilton couldn't get anything going on the ground the last drive. This time, we'll see what their game plan is, as Wyatt Carson in this offense will head out there. Under center he goes. Maiazono, toss out to him. Left side, trying to get outside, past the 25-yard line and down to the 23-yard line.
Holding number 53 blue. Number 53 blue. Hold the spot.
And looks like the referee's coming together. They throw a flag. And this one might be coming back. A nice gain on first down will be negated. There's a holding on Josh Weiser.
Holding. Offense. Number 53. 10 yards from the previous spot. Still first down.
That was the referee telling us exactly what goes down there on the bottom of the field. The way they did this stadium, just so you know, we're coming to you from the Rangers home ballpark, Globe Life Field in Arlington, and they have done a fantastic job of setting out this stadium. Air Force and Navy played here, so they figured, what I'm told by one of the crew, that they just wanted to play some playoff football here, and that's what they're doing. 1st and 15, out to the left side. They hand it to Maiazono, trying to get outside the numbers, but no, can't. Defense comes in from South Oak Cliff and makes them pay. On that carry was A.J. Yasili, 6 foot, 205-pound senior for Frisco. Seven to nothing, 3:35 and counting in the first quarter. Ball is going to be placed at the 8-yard line. Under center, Jordan Hamilton to the left side. Carson hands it 10, 15, and Jordan Hamilton gets upended around the 19-yard line. A nice run by Jordan Hamilton, finally getting going. Got nothing on that first drive. This time has a hold on the left side. I'm telling you, they're going to go Cole Hudson, that left tackle side, all night long. And at least gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Out to the 19-yard line. Third and 15 from there. Line to gain is a 34. In the shotgun now is Carson, rolling out to the right side. Has a couple of blockers in front. Plenty of time. Drifting to the right, throws to the right sideline, and incomplete. Intended for Jordan Hamilton, who's running in that slot, and that'll bring up fourth down. 4th and 15 from the 19-yard line. That drive kind of stalled out after the nice gain on first down was negated by a holding penalty by Frisco. And now, for the second time in 2 drives, they will punt this one away. Mason Stallings will do that, as Javon Thomas, who had a beautiful punt return on the first drive, comes in to return for South Oak Cliff. This one, Stallings gets it away, hits down to the 50-yard line and takes a nice Frisco roll. That's the 40, the 35, and will be down right at the 30-yard line, maybe the 31, and a nice kick by Mason Stallings. 7-0 to score here in the first quarter, 2:20 on the clock. Let's thank our sponsors, Smith's Quality Greenhouses and Matt's Rancho Martinez Tex-Mex. 92.1 FM at KXEZ and 95.3 FM at KHYI. The Range are deeply rooted and invested in North Texas. Thanks for listening and, of course, for your support. Kevin Henry Jennings back out there on the right hash mark, going right to left. Hands this one up the middle. Dancing around is Quaylen Farah. Gets in space at the 40-yard line, 45, and tripped over his own feet. Big gain on first down, a gain of about 15 to the 42-yard line, making the 47-yard line with 2:13 and counting in the first quarter. 7-0 South Oak Cliff over Frisco. Trips to the left side, stacked slot receivers near the left hash mark. From the right hash mark, Kevin Henry Jennings. Hands up the middle. Fair again. Has some space. The 40-yard line inside Frisco territory. Cuts it back to the outside the numbers. Gets inside the 20, the 15, and down right there. Big time gain by Quaylen Farah, who is now still on the turf. Does not look pretty. He's requiring some medical attention as he's a bit keeled over. Let's hope that he's all right. He gets up under his own power and jogs off the field. He'll have to sit out at least one play. He is favoring, it looks like, that right lower body, either the thigh or the shin. I won't speculate as much, but it's 7-0, 144, and a big gain by Quaylen Farah, who had the touchdown, 30-yard touchdown in South Oak Cliff's first drive. This time, Kevin Henry Jennings in the shotgun. To the left of him is Keandre Hollywood. Two receivers on the other side of the formation, going right to left. No tight end in the ball game. Doubles wide receiver set, man in motion, right to left. Jennings hands up the middle. Hollywood spins out right to left and gets blown up. A pack of raccoons take him down behind the line of scrimmage. Or maybe right at the line of scrimmage. To the 16-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 10 from there. 1:03 and counting here in the first quarter of the area round playoffs from Globe Life Field in Arlington. Trips out to the left side. They're stacked near the numbers. From the middle of the field is Kevin Henry Jennings, the quarterback. To the right of him is Keandre Hollywood. Man in motion, left to right. Henry Jennings sends him. Play action. Drops back, looks left, steps up in the pocket, makes a couple of men miss, and wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, and Frisco has a sack of their own. It was Aaron Jamison Johnson who came in and wrapped him up. Moving quickly now at South Oak Cliff. 3rd and 10 from the 16-yard line. Henry Jennings in the shotgun. Try to get him offside, but got nothing going. To the right side of him is Keandre Hollywood. Two receivers on either side, on the right side and the left side. In the middle of the field is Kevin Henry Jennings in the South Oak Cliff offense. 3 seconds and counting down on the game clock, and they'll let this one run out in the first quarter. And that'll do it from the first quarter in Globe Life Field in Arlington. 7-0 South Oak Cliff over the Frisco Raccoons in the area round on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. If you love your plants like we do here at KXEZ, protect them with the quality greenhouse from Smith Greenhouses. Metal and portable buildings, cabins and outdoor decor, you name it. Call Dustin Smith at 903-268-1694. That's 903-268-1694. You'll like Dustin, good friend of KXEZ. You'll be glad you made the call. That's Smith's Quality Greenhouses. Also, again, don't forget if you can't get us here at 92.1 FM KXEZ, you can hear our games on TuneIn Radio. Go to the TuneIn Radio app or TuneInRadio.com. Click on 92.1 KXEZ and hear us anywhere in the world. To tell your out-of-town family and friends about TuneIn Radio. Now, from the 16-yard line, South Oak Cliff threatening to score for the second time tonight. In the shotgun is Kevin Henry Jennings. Keandre Hollywood to the right of him. Receivers on either side. There's two. Claps his hands. Can't get him to draw his size. 3rd and 10. Hand off the middle. Keandre Hollywood dancing around. Past the 12-yard line. Spins right to left. Spins again. 10, 5. Touchdown, Keandre Hollywood in South Oak Cliff. He had some space at the left guard. It was a counter play. Went to the left side at the left hash mark. Spun around a defender. Another one came by and spun around again. 2 spin moves. Gets him in the end zone for another touchdown for South Oak Cliff. With 11:52 here in the second quarter, just 8 seconds in. on for the extra point try. Diego Varela out there for the second time. Cedric Williams to hold. Hold is down, kick is up, and right through the uprights. It's 14-0. South Oak Cliff over the Frisco Raccoons on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ, a 21-yard run by Keandre Hollywood. Spinning around and scoring for the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears for Hollywood. His 13th touchdown on the season. And he had 2 touchdowns last week against Everman as well. He has been on fire here in these first game and a half now, or game and a quarter in the playoffs in 2021. Varela, Diego will go on to kick for South Oak Cliff. Ismail Taylor stands under it, steals it at the 10-yard line. Has some blockers out to the left side, the 20, 25, has some space out to the left side, 40, and ball is out. The ball is out. It squirts away from Ismail Taylor. And South Oak Cliff recovers. It was actually the kicker, Diego Varela, who came up with the ball. Ismail Taylor had some space, and it was punched out from behind by Javon Thomas, who's already had his fingerprints all over this game, or I should say footprints, as he had a huge return from the 10-yard line to the opposite 40, 50-yard return on a punt return. This time forces a fumble, and it's recovered by the kicker, Diego Varela, and South Oak Cliff with another possession. Kevin Henry Jennings back out there. Got maybe a 45-second rest. And he goes back to work from the right hash mark, going left to right, 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Quaylen Farrer back out there after he came out. Man in motion, right to left. Trips to the left side now. Play action, looking left, Henry Jennings. Looking right, throws down the right sideline and drops it into the bucket, but he couldn't hold on. Pass intended for Jamari Cawley. Cawley, the 6'3", 210 sophomore. I mean, Kevin Henry Jennings put this ball right on the money and went right through the hands of Cawley. It'll be 1st and 10 from the midfield mark. 14-0 South Oak Cliff over the Frisco Raccoons. 4th year in a row this matchup has happened in the area round. Now trips stacked out way to the left side near the numbers at the 50. Lone receiver Cawley to the right side. Henry Jennings claps his hands, but the whistles come in. We hear from the officials one more time. They stopped the play, so it's in the area of holding.
Defense, number 8. Swing across the line, causing the offense to jump. 5-yard penalty. Still, 2nd down.
Well, it shows how much I know about anything. There was encroachment called. Maybe encroachment wasn't the right word from the referee because they didn't touch. It was neutral zone infraction. Now, Henry Jennings stands 2nd and 5 from the 45-yard line. To the right of him is Farrah. Trips to the left side, stack, and up the middle. Farrah pushing the pile this time. Doesn't get anything going. Maybe a yard on the play, if that. To the 44-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4. Line to gain is that 40. Inside Frisco territory already as a fumble on the kick return. After a 21-yard run by Keandre Hollywood for a touchdown, put the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears up 14-0 over Frisco. Forced fumble by Javon Thomas, recovered by Diego Varela, as Kevin Henry Jennings and the Golden Bears from South Oak Cliff with a 3rd and 4 from the 44. Play action. Henry Jennings looked out to the left side, rushed out to the right side now. Fires to the right sideline, caught at the 30-yard line and out of bounds right there. Beautiful play by Kevin Henry Jennings. Rolling out to the right side, evading pressure. Obviously, there's a flag down at the 38-yard line on the far side of the field.
Number 56. 5-yard penalty, replay, 2nd, 3rd down.
So it was holding by the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. Nordis Stoker was the guilty party right there. Pushes them back 5 yards. So it'll be 3rd and 10 from the midfield mark. Back to the original line of scrimmage. 14-0 South Oak Cliff. Trips to the left side. Kevin Henry Jennings tries to draw them offside. This time reset and gets the play from head coach Jason Todd. To the right side of him, it's DeAndre Hollywood. In the shotgun is Jennings. Claps his hands, takes the snap. Play action. Looks to the right side. Here comes the blind side, but no. Out to the right sideline and wide right of Demary Cawley. Incomplete, bringing up 4th and 10. And Frisco finally stops the South Oak Cliff offense. A lot of time to throw. Kevin Henry Jennings had unleashed a bullet out to the right side, but incomplete, bringing up 4th down. And it looks like, well, the punter didn't make it out there, so Boylan Farrow will punt for South Oak Cliff. And it's a bad snap over the head of Farah out to the 25-yard line and brought down at the 30. Frisco makes a play on special teams of their own. A bad snap couldn't be handled by Farah. And that'll put Frisco deep inside South Oak Cliff territory at the 30-yard line. 14-0. South Oak Cliff leads Frisco with 10:35 on the clock in the second quarter here in the second round of the Texas 5A high school playoff. .35 and counting now. Under center goes Carson. Flip out to the right side is Mayazono. Looked like he was going to pass it. This time just tucks it and runs to the right side on first down. A gain of 2 on the play. We'll get him to the 28-yard line. They'll mark him short of that at the 29. Mayazono looked like he was going to throw, but the receiver was covered downfield. Great play by the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears defense. Hold him to a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9 from the 29-yard line. The crowd still filing in, actually. It has grown substantially. Under center goes Carson. Handoff to the right side of Mayazono. Wrapped up hard. Gain of 1 on the play. The ball came out, but the referees are saying he was down on contact. Mayazono wrapped up hard by Abdul Muhammad. Nice play by Muhammad to keep him right there, as Mayazono's had a nice game on the ground so far. Now from the right hash mark. It'll be 3rd and 8 from the 28-yard line. Line to gain is that 20. Going right to left of the Frisco Raccoons. In the shotgun now is Wyatt Carson. Empty backfield. He goes. Wide receiver trips to the left side. 1 to the right. Tied into the ballgame. Carson. He pushed out of the pocket and down he goes. Stepped up in the pocket. It was hit hard, and for the second time today, he was sacked. Brandon Jones, a 6-foot, 175-pound linebacker, comes in and makes a big play for South Oak Cliff and forces another 4th down. And the field goal unit's coming out. Gavin Marshall, a 6'1", 185-pound senior, comes in to attempt a 45-yard field goal from right in the middle of the field. Good snap. Hold is down. The kick is up. Slicing a little bit to the left, but tucks it right in there. 3 points and a big kick. A 45-yard strike by Gavin Marshall puts the Frisco Raccoons on the board. It's 14-3, 9:04 in the second on 92.1 FM KXEZ.
This is the Possum, 92.1 KXEZ, Farmersville, Dallas, and KXEZ.com.
Back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Ethan Herrera here with our studio engineer Ethan Brooks back in the KXEZ studio. 14-3 as a 45-yard touchdown, 45-yard field goal by Gavin Marshall puts Frisco on the board. After 2 touchdowns in a row for South Oak Cliff. Marshall kicks this one off to the back of the end zone and fielded in the back of the end zone. He's going to take it out. Thomas Up the middle, has some space, past the right hash mark, and goes to the left side. Past the 25, past the 30, and upended around the 30-yard line. Javon Thomas, dangerous return man. We've seen that already this time. Takes it out of the back of the end zone and takes it to the 30-yard line. So Kevin Henry Jennings and the South Oak Cliff Golden Bear offense will stand in right there. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. 8:58 on the clock here in the second quarter. 14-3, South Oak Cliff over Frisco in the 4th installment of this matchup in 4 years, the area round. South Oak Cliff won the first one, and it's back-to-back wins last year and the year before for Frisco. Henry Jennings in the shotgun, hands it up the middle. Keandre Johnson, Keandre Hollywood up the middle. And a big-time run past the 40 and past the 45, gets down at the 46-yard line. Gain of 16 on first down for Keandre Hollywood. Moving quickly, H-back into the ball game on the left side of the formation. Henry Jennings right back to Keandre Hollywood. Goes up the middle and tries to get a little bit of something and does for a bit past the midfield mark to the 48-yard line into Frisco territory. Hollywood comes out. Farrar will come in. Will come in for South Oak Cliff. Extra offensive lineman in there. It's Zachary Tilley. Two receivers stacked to the right side from the left hash mark. Handoff to the right side. No, quarterback keeper. Kevin Henry Jennings off to the left side, the 45-40 and out of bounds. He has the first down for now. It was 2nd and 5, but a flag comes in right at the line of scrimmage.
Offside. Defense in the neutral zone at the snap. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
First down for South Oak Cliff. The second time we've seen that. And a nice gain from Kevin Henry Jennings across the 40-yard line. Gets it to the 37. 1st and 10 from there. Man in motion, left to right. Snap to Henry Jennings. Up the middle he goes. Is Farrar. And Farrar is knocked down hard at the 34-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 from the 34. A little extracurricular down there, but nothing too serious. Farrar will come out, and Keandre Hollywood will come back into the ball game. Shotgun now from the left hash mark. Going left to right is Kevin Henry Jennings. Awaits the snap, claps his hands, waits for it. This time gets it. Hand off the middle, Keandre Hollywood bounces it out to the right side, and Hollywood past the 45-yard line, down near the 32. Past the 35-yard line, I beg your pardon, down to the 32. Gain of a couple on the play. Gets to the 32-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5 coming up. 14-3, South Oak Cliff over Frisco. Henry Jennings in the shotgun from the middle of the field. Man tight end in the game. Man in motion right to left. That's Randy Reese. And they swing pass out to him, but the whistles come in before the play gets going. Flag comes in. Didn't quite hear that from the referee. No, they're saying false start. That'll push them back 5 yards. So from the 32, pushes them back to the 37. The original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10 from there. 14-3, South Oak Cliff over Frisco. In the shotgun, 2 receivers stacked to the left side, middle of the field. 1 receiver to the right side. Claps his hands, can't get him to draw offside with Kevin Henry Jennings. Will reset. Man in motion, left to right. In the shotgun is Henry Jennings. Looks right, throws left. Screen pass to Hollywood, and down he goes. Brandon Maiazono comes out of nowhere, makes a huge play at the line of scrimmage, and it'll force a 4th down for South Oak Cliff. Brandon Maiazono came out from his linebacker position, read the play on the fake, and before Hollywood had a chance to turn his head, Maiazono came in hot. At the 37-yard line, no gain. We'll see what the play call is from Coach Jason Todd on the South Oak Cliff offense. Maizono looks to the crowd, pumps his arms in the air, and he says, come on, let's go. It's a big momentum swing about to happen. And it'll be a timeout by Coach Jason Todd and the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. We'll take a timeout with them. 30 seconds back here on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM KXEZ, 14-3 South Oak Cliff over Frisco in round 2, the area round of the Texas 5A high school playoffs. Frisco with a couple of touchdown runs, long touchdown runs, 30 yards and 20 yards, won by Quaylen Farrar and DeAndre Hollywood. This time, not so lucky. Brandon Maizono making a couple of big plays in the linebacker position for Frisco. 4th and 10 from the 37-yard line, South Oak Cliff. It looks like they might go for it. No. They indeed are going for it from the left hash mark. 2 receivers to the left side. Now motion him out to Furler, wide left. Henry Jennings in the shotgun. Farrar to the right of him. He drops back, takes the snap, rushed out to the left side, fires to the right side, and caught near the first down marker. Are they going to give it to him? We'll see what the call is. It was a pass out to the left side to Kylan Mathis. And indeed, they get the first down on 4th and 10. A beautiful play by Kevin Henry Jennings, evading the pressure and getting it by about half a yard. 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. Henry Jennings, hand off the middle, dancing around. Farrar trying to get some traction, and finally does. Falls forward to the 20-yard line, a gain of 6 on the play to bring up 2nd and 4. But a flag comes in. And it'll be holding on South Oak Cliff. So negates that 6-yard run on first down by Quaylen Farrar. Instead of starting from the 26, it'll push him back to the 36. 1st and 20. Always comfortable 1st and 20. 5:25 on the clock in the second quarter. 14-3. South Oak Cliff over Frisco. 2 receivers to the right side. Extra down lineman into the game for South Oak Cliff. Henry Jennings in the shotgun. Farrar to the left of him. Man in motion, right to left. That's Reese. Hand off to Farrar. Up the middle. To the left side he goes. The 35 and the 30-yard line. Gets down at the 31. Nice gain to get a little bit back on first down. Bringing up 2nd and 15. $5:50 and counting. $4:50 and counting in the second quarter. 14-3 South Oak Cliff over Frisco from Globe Life Field in Arlington. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Miller tied in the ball game on the right side of the formation. That is Jaquan Green, the big 6', 260 junior. Randy Reese in motion, right to left. Play action. Henry Jennings looks right, fires right, down the far sideline, in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, South Oak Cliff. Manny Muhammad streaking down the right sideline. Henry Jennings looks left, looks right, and finds him in the back corner of the end zone for the first touchdown pass of the game for Kevin Henry Jennings. And they extend the lead to 20-3, pinning this extra point try by Diego Varela. Cedric Williams to hold for South Oak Cliff. Good snap, good hold, good kick. 21-3, South Oak Cliff over Frisco with 4:23 on the clock in the second on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM KXEZ. There's a long 20, make it a 31-yard strike. 36 yards, I beg your pardon, from Kevin Henry Jennings out to Manny Muhammad for the third touchdown of the game from South Oak Cliff. They extend the lead 21-3 against these Frisco Raccoons. Varela now to kick off. Jordan Hamilton and Drew Johnson back to return for Frisco. Johnson fields it at the 10-yard line, has some space, and quickly closed down by South Oak Cliff. Gets to the 15-20-yard line. It'll be down right there. And the Frisco Raccoons have some work to do. As Wyatt Carson will come out to try to really get them rolling. On for today's game, Smith Quality Greenhouses and Matt Ranchero Martinez Tex-Mex. 92.1 FM KXEZ and 95.3 FM KHYI. The Range are deeply rooted and invested in North Texas, so thank you for listening and all your continued support. Carson, under center he goes. Two tight ends to the left side, toss out to the left side. That's Hamilton. Jordan Hamilton trying to get a couple of yards, but gets one. And just by falling forward, but there's a flag in the backfield. So it looks like that 1 yard gain might be coming back.
Illegal chop block. Offense number 34. After distance to the goal, remains first down.
We heard the referee. Legal chop block pushes them back. Half the distance to the goal, which is a big penalty inside the 20. Pushes them to the 10-yard line. So essentially a 10-yard penalty. Makes it 1st and 20 from that 10. From the right hash mark. Going right to left. Carson under center. 3 tight ends in the ball game, 1 to the left side. That's Johnson. Hand in the middle to Jordan Hamilton. Has some space. 15-20. Has some space out of the left hash mark. He goes. The left sideline. 40, 50. And down he goes inside South Oak Cliff territory. A big-time run on 1st and 20. Jordan Hamilton, how do you do? Haven't had anything going all game long, and now breaks one free with 4 minutes to go in the second. It's all the way down to the 47-yard line. 1st and 10 from there. A big hole right up the middle and cut it from the right side, right hash mark, out to the left hash mark, and then out to the left numbers, and a big gain. Under center, 2 tight ends in the ball game. Carson, toss out to the right side to Hamilton, has some blockers, gets past the 45-yard line and down near the 40. From the 47, he goes to the 41-yard line, 6-yard gain. Makes it 2nd and 4. Cole Hudson did some blocking for him downfield. The UT commit, regarded as one of the best offensive linemen in the state of Texas, Hudson doing all he can to create a running lane for his running backs. Under center goes Carson. Behind him is Hamilton. Man in motion right to left. Toss to the left side. Gets outside. Has a hole at the 40-yard line and hit hard right at the 40. A gain of 1 on that 2nd down play. Makes it 3rd and 3. Hamilton off to the left side and a big hit by that South Oak Cliff linebacker, Jordan Mays. Now from the left hash mark. Hamilton will come out. Brandon Mayazono has had a beautiful game so far. Comes in at running back. Drew Johnson also follows him out to the right side. Lines up right. 2 tight ends in the ballgame. Under center goes Wyatt Carson. They go to the short side, the left side. Mayazono hitting the backfield, but breaks the tackle. Dives with a 1st down mark. Near the 35, they'll give him the 36 and a 1st down. Nice play by Brandon Mayazono. Was hit in the backfield. Would have been a loss, but he fights forward. Dives for that 1st down mark. Gains 4 on the play and gets the 1st down for Frisco. Johnson comes out. Hamilton comes back in. But at running back is Brandon Mayazono. Rolling out to the right side is Carson. Has a man caught at the 31-yard line out to the right side. A beautiful gain on 1st down. Pitch and catch outside the numbers and out of bounds he goes. Aaron Jamison Johnson gets his first catch of the game. The 6'1", 180-pound senior lines up at wide receiver. And a gain of 8 on 1st down. Makes it 2nd and 2 from the 39-yard line. Making it the 29-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 3 from that 29. Under center goes Carson. To the right of him or behind him is Brandon Mayazono. And up the handoff up the middle he goes, and Mayazono powers forward for a gain of 1 on the play. Make it 3rd and 2. Again, Mayazono is getting hit in the backfield and falling forward and really using his legs to drive through. That's exactly what you run from a downhill runner. 21-3 with 1:30 left to go here in the first half of play. Fullback into the ball game. That's A.J. Yasili. And up to Maiazono, right up the middle. Dances to the right side, close to the first down mark at the 26-yard line. And he does get the first down. Brandon Maiazono, 1:18 on the clock, and a timeout, it looks like, by Frisco. Yes, timeout by the Frisco Raccoons with 1:18 on the clock. 21-3. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Back here on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Hey, if you love your plants like we do here at KXEZ, you'll protect them with a quality greenhouse from Smith's Quality Greenhouses. Metal and portable buildings, cabins, and outdoor decor, you name it. Call Dustin Smith at 903-268-1694. If you like Dustin and be glad you made the call, that's Smith's Quality Greenhouses. 1:18 on the clock here in the second quarter. 21-3. South Oak Cliff with a couple of touchdown runs and a long touchdown pass from Kevin Henry Jennings. And a 45-yard field goal for Frisco makes it 21-3. Pass out to the right side and caught by Drew Johnson near the first down mark at the 16-yard line. Wyatt Carson, we haven't seen him throw the ball much this game, has a beautiful strike to the outside and gets a first down on first down for Frisco. 1:12 in counting. He went out of bounds, stopped the clock. First and 10 from the 15-yard line. They'll make it the 16. Under center goes Carson. Off to the right side is Maiazono. Has some space inside the 10, but hit down hard and tripped up before he can really break it open. Gets it to the 9-yard line. Nice play by Brandon Maiazono following his blocks. Ball placed to the 9-yard line, and one of the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears tried to make it off the field, but couldn't quite get there, so they'll stop the clock. Not quite sure who it is as he's on his back, but it's 21-3. South Oak Cliff leading Frisco, as Frisco is knocking on the door now inside the 10-yard line. 1st and 9. It'll be 1st and goal. I beg your pardon. It'll be 2nd and about 3 from the 9-yard line. Folks, don't forget that 92.1 FM KXEZ is your Metroplex home for Texas A&M football and men's basketball. The Aggie football team will play host to Prairie View on Saturday, kickoff at 11 a.m., pregame at 10. Texas A&M's men's basketball season is underway. They're undefeated. They'll look to stay that way as they take on the Wisconsin Badgers in the Maui Invitational on Monday. Game time is set for 1 p.m. with the pregame starting at 12:30. We will have our full coverage for you here on 92.1 FM KXEZ. We are your Metroplex home for Texas A&M football and men's basketball. The injured Golden Bear walking off the field with the help of some trainers. Looks like it's Keith Smith down there. Let's hope he's okay. 52 seconds on the clock in the second quarter and the first half to go. (21-3) the score. The South Oak Cliff Golden Bears over Frisco. Under center goes Carson from the 9-yard line. Play action. No. Maiazono up the middle. 5. Touchdown. Brandon Maiazono continues his fantastic day as he runs it in from 9 yards, and they get the first touchdown of the game for Frisco. It looked like play action. It was a beautiful sell from Wyatt Carson. But Maiazono ultimately had a huge hole and ran in right through it. 6 points on the board for Frisco. Marshall on for the extra point try. It's up, and it's good. 21-10, South Oak Cliff over Frisco with 49 seconds to go in the second quarter on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM KXEZ was a 9-yard touchdown run by Brandon Maiazono, who got a touchdown on the board finally for the Frisco Raccoons with 49 seconds to go in the second quarter. 21-10 the score. South Oak Cliff still leads it by 11. A couple of long touchdown runs, or medium-length touchdown runs, if you will. One by Quaylen Farrar, the other one by Keandre Hollywood. Then it was a 30-plus yard touchdown pass from Kevin Henry Jennings to Manny Muhammad. for a strike. That's where we're at. 21-10. Kickoff by Marshall to the back of the end zone and out of the back of the end zone. Touchback for South Oak Cliff. 25-yard line they will go as Kevin Henry Jennings will try to work a little bit of magic with 49 seconds on the clock in the second quarter to go. Brandon Maiazono having a beautiful game. We'll have first half stats for you at halftime, just so you know. Talk a little bit about who's to play and who's to come on this side of the bracket for 5A Division II. And we will also check out some other scores and matchups from around the area in this area round in North Texas. For the time being, these teams have been neck and neck with first downs and total yards pretty much. Not a whole lot passing as Kevin Henry Jennings takes the snap, rolls out to the right side, pump fakes to the right side. Now reverses his field, back to the middle of the field. 30-yard line, past the 35, and down at the 37-yard line. A 12-yard run on first down. A scramble by Kevin Henry Jennings. Gets the chains rolling with 37 seconds and counting in the second quarter. Trying to move quickly, tight into the ball game. To the right of him is Farrar. Claps his hand. Henry Jennings receives the snap. Play action. Looks left. Fires left. Wide open man at the midfield mark. And out of bounds he goes. Gets the first down. Nice pitch and catch right there from Kevin Henry Jennings to his receiver, Kylan Mathis. Mathis gets it to the 46-yard line of Frisco, inside Frisco territory. From the left hash mark, 21-10. The score, South Oak Cliff over Frisco. Henry Jennings trying to get something going with 24 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Farrar to the left of him. Tied into the ball game. Now Farrar moves from the left to the right. Two receivers on the left side. Now Reese from left to right in motion. Play action. Looks left. Fires left. Mathis again. Out of bounds again. Gets it to the 36-yard line. Nice pitch and catch once again to Kylan Mathis from Kevin Henry Jennings. Henry Jennings has been nothing short of spectacular in terms of accuracy this year, a 69% passer, and that's just unbelievable, especially in 5A. They'll go again from the left hash mark, this time at the 36-yard line. Two receivers to the right side, one to the left. Farrar to the left of him, kind of in a pistol formation. Reese, right to left, man in motion. Play action. Looks down the right side, fires to the right side. He's got it called. The long throw, caught, and looks like he was juggling. One says he was out of bounds and caught it, and one referee says it's a no catch. Incomplete with 15 seconds to go. It was Manny Muhammad who had a touchdown catch already in this one. Tiptoed the sideline, but the referee, the far back judge, said that he was bobbling it. Incomplete pass makes it 2nd and 10 from the 36-yard line. 21-10, South Oak Cliff over Frisco in this area round with 15 seconds left to go in the first half. Two receivers to the right side, one to the left side, tied into the ball game. That's Jaquan Green. To the right of Kevin Henry Jennings is Quaylon Farrar. They hand it to him. Left side, pass in space. 35, dances outside the numbers. A flag comes in. The 30, 25, and finally down to the 24-yard line, although a flag is in the backfield, or near the line of scrimmage, I should say, with 9 seconds to go.
Offense, number 35. 10 yards from the previous spot. 3 plays. Second down.
And it's holding 10 yards from the previous spot, so it'll put him at the 46-yard line with 9 seconds to go left in the first half. It was Keandre Hollywood on that run that gets negated. And we'll see if they try a field goal with 9 seconds or try to get a little bit more time. They have 2 timeouts left. South Oak Cliff does. As the ball will be spotted at the 46-yard line, going left to right from the left hash mark. Getting their play from the head coach, Coach Jason Todd. So maybe a quick play and trying a field goal from Diego Varela. Maybe that's in the works. We'll see. 4 seconds left, 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left, and the clock's running. It was a running clock.
Of the first half.
And they didn't call a timeout. Coach Jason Todd looking at the sideline, or looking at the referees from the sideline in disbelief. Thought the clock had stopped, but it was a run before the holding call by the referees. Everybody's confused down there. The referees
That's the end of the first half.
will get together and they call it. Since it was a run and inside 2 minutes, the clock kept rolling. And instead of 9 seconds on the clock, Coach Jason Todd didn't even notice as the clock wound down on the end of the first half. Very odd and auspicious start here in the first half of play. 21-10, South Oak Cliff over Frisco. We'll have first half stats. We'll look at the area around the playoffs throughout the state of Texas and the matchup on this bracket when we come back on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM KXEZ, halftime show here from Globe Life Field in Arlington. 21-10 is the halftime score. The South Oak Cliff Golden Bears over the Frisco Raccoons. Also, don't miss the UIL Football State Championship starting Wednesday, December 15th at the AT&T Center in Arlington, Texas, just across the way. Ticket information and more can be found at uiltexas.org. Special thanks to our sponsors, Smith Quality Greenhouses and Matt Rancho Martinez Tex-Mex. If you love your plants like we do here at KXEZ, you'll protect them with a quality greenhouse from Smith Greenhouses, metal and portable buildings, cabins, and outdoor decor. You name it. Call Dustin Smith at 903-268-1694. The number again is 903-268-1694. You'll like Dustin. You'll be glad you made the call. That's Smith Quality Greenhouses. Don't forget, if you can't get us here at 92.1 FM KXEZ, you can hear the games on TuneIn Radio. Go to the TuneIn Radio app or TuneInRadio.com and click on 92.1 FM KXEZ, and you can hear us anywhere in the world. So tell your out-of-town family and friends about TuneIn Radio. Especially special thanks also to Ethan Brooks, as you can hear our games on the KXEZ YouTube page, as he does a fine job of putting those out there after the fact. We'll take a look at the first half stats for this area round playoff matchup, the fourth installment, like I've mentioned plenty of times in this one. We'll go over real quick recap of the last three matches. In 2018, South Oak Cliff beat this Frisco Raccoons team 48-16. They went on to lose Toledo in the next round. 2019, Frisco got their revenge, 18-0. And then 2020, last year, 19-17, a last-second field goal by the freshman backup kicker at the time was Mason Stallings. Hit the game-winning field goal as a freshman to give them the 2-point victory in the area round, and they went on to lose to Toledo as well in 2020, last season. This one, 21-10 halftime score. And we'll go over some team stats right here. 12 first downs for South Oak Cliff as opposed to Frisco's 9. Total yards for South Oak Cliff, 212. 68 of those came through the air. 144 came by way of the rushing attack. 132 yards total for Frisco. 115 coming on the ground with only 17 passing yards. They're a team that's not going to pass the ball very often. They are a run-first team and really run-only team for most of the season. Wyatt Carson only completed 41 passes on the season, so that's not something they're going to look to do. We'll see if the halftime adjustments, sway that way in the second half. But 5 penalties. Penalties have been a little bit of a factor, especially in key moments for both teams. South Oak Cliff has 5 penalties for 35 yards, 4 penalties for 30 yards for Frisco. 1 turnover for Frisco and a fumble on a kickoff return by Drew Johnson was poked out by Javon Thomas and recovered by the kicker, Diego Varela. A couple of individual numbers, with all numbers right here in the first segment of this halftime show on KXEZ. For South Oak Cliff, Kevin Henry Jennings is 5 of 8 through the air, 62.5% on 68 yards and a touchdown pass. That was to Manny Muhammad. Quaylen Farrar, 7 attempts for 68 yards. That's 9.7 yards per attempt. Per rush, has 1 touchdown. That was to open up the scoring. Keandre Hollywood, 7 attempts as well for 47 yards. That's 6.7 per rush and a touchdown. And Kevin Henry Jennings has 4 scrambles, actually 3 scrambles and 1 design run for 29 yards, 7.25 yards per attempt. Also in the receiving game for South Oak Cliff, Kylan Mathis leads those receivers with 3 catches, 37 yards, and a couple of big first downs. And Manny Muhammad with a catch, 31 yards and a touchdown. And Keandre Hollywood one catch for 0 yards. It was Brandon Maiazono who came up big on that specific catch on 3rd down to force a 4th. And now for the Frisco Raccoons. I'm telling you, nothing but numbers here. Frisco, 2 of 3 is Wyatt Carson behind center in the air, 17 yards. They don't utilize that passing game as much. Like I mentioned, they're going to run the ball, and they're going to do it until they drop. Brandon Maiazono is the leader in yards, 13 attempts for 77 yards in the first half. Beautiful game so far for Brandon Maiazono. That is 5.9 yards per carry. He does have that 9-yard touchdown run as well, the only touchdown of the game for Frisco. Jordan Hamilton, 62 yards on 5 attempts, 12 yards per carry. Had a huge run after he was kind of stopped early in the first quarter, and then a big run pushed him well over that average mark. Distilly has a carry, but for negative yards. Carson has 3 carries for negative 19. That is where they've been hurt. That defensive line for South Oak Cliff has really come in and demolished that left side of the line, making the right side, because that left side is being held down by Cole Hudson, the University of Texas commit. The only 2 catches of the game, Drew Johnson for 10 yards, Aaron Jamison Johnson for 7 yards. So those are the first half numbers, team and individual stats for this area round matchup. 21-10 the halftime score. South Oak Cliff, as the bands are playing, they lead Frisco 21-10. When we come back, we'll go over some playoff matchups ahead that are happening today, tomorrow, and Saturday. Big games here in round 2. They're always exciting. We'll get back to it on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Halftime here in round 2 of the Texas 5A high school playoffs from Globe Life Field in Arlington. South Oak Cliff leads it 21-10 over the Frisco Raccoons. Sponsors for today's game, Smith Quality Greenhouses, Matt Rancho Martinez Tex-Mex. And just so you know, we do have a whole couple of games this week, this being one of them. Tomorrow, we will be broadcasting from Sulphur Springs. We're back on the air with our coverage of Texas high school playoffs then. We'll have the area round matchup between the Quinlan Ford Panthers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. No, not those Pittsburgh Pirates, but I like the way you think. We'll have that for you. They're coming from Gerald Prince Stadium in Sulphur Springs. We'll have that for you with pregame starting at 6:45 and the kickoff at 7 p.m. So be sure to tune in to 92.1 FM KXEZ, where we are your Metroplex leader in high school sports on the radio. Also, 92.1 FM KXEZ and 95.3 KHYI. The Range are deeply rooted and invested in North Texas. So, as always, we thank you for listening and your support. So we talked about all game long, and I'm going to mention about 30 more times. Now, this is the 4th year in a row how South Oak Cliff and Frisco have met each other in this area round. I mean, it's a little bit astounding because you don't see it happen all the time, but you know how districts set up. They play the same district every single year, and this time they happen to hit each other right on the head for 4 years in a row. They're in this bracket with one of the most dangerous teams as of late in the past 4 or 5 years, and really in all of Texas high school history, Aledo. Aledo takes on Frisco Liberty tomorrow night at 7 p.m., but Aledo has knocked off both of these clubs, both of these programs in the past few years at one point or another, as Aledo, as you know, is a 4-time or 4 consecutive state champions, and they've been absolutely incredible, and they'll play, if they beat Frisco Liberty, of course, they'll play the winner of this game, and that's who they have to go through. Either Frisco Liberty was a strong team or this Aledo team that's been well underway in the past 4 or 5 years. On this side of the bracket, also, they have Lovejoy, who's been dangerous, Ennis and Mansfield Timberview. Ennis has been unstoppable as well, always ranking in the top 5. It's a very tough bracket, and everybody knows about these teams, so it's going to be an exciting one. Whoever wins this match right now in this 11-point lead South Oak Cliff has over Frisco. Let's look at a couple other games. That's 5A Division II. Let's look at 5A Division I here in North Texas. Highland Park versus Frisco Wakeland, another Frisco ISD school, plays tomorrow at 7. And College Station versus Frisco Lone Star, another Frisco ISD school, plays tomorrow at 7 o'clock. One at Allen Eagle Stadium, that's Wakeland and Highland Park. And Rose Stadium, College Station and Lone Star, that'll be out in Tyler. A couple of 6A matchups, and they are big. And I'm telling you, one of the biggest matchups of the entire, really, second round, and everybody's talking about it, of course, is this matchup on Saturday between Rockwall and DeSoto, who are two absolute powerhouses at the 6A level. Spring Westfield and Klein Oak will emerge, and the winner will take on the winner of Rockwall and DeSoto on that side of the bracket in 6A Division 1. Mesquite and Duncanville also in a big matchup. Everybody loves those two schools. South Lake Carroll and Midland Legacy in Region 1 of the 6A1 bracket. Allen takes on Lake Highlands. Big games all over. I'm telling you, these round 2, these area round playoff games are some of the best games in Texas high school sports. They are absolutely fun to watch. If you can make it to one of them, please do go out. But if you can't, please tune in to 92.1 FM KXEZ. We have all the best games all around the area at all divisions here in North Texas. We are, as I've said multiple times, your leader for high school sports in the North Texas Metroplex. When we come back, we will talk a little bit more about these two teams and their history, and a couple of we'll talk about the coaches one more time and what these players for both sides have been up to all season long when we come back on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Halftime here at Globe Life Field in Arlington. 21-10 the score. The halftime score as South Oak Cliff leads it over the Frisco Raccoons. 92.1 FM KXEZ is your Metroplex home for Texas A&M football and men's basketball. The Aggie football team, number 16 in the country, will play host to the Prairie View A&M on Saturday. Kickoff is at 11 a.m. Pregame at 10. Texas A&M men's basketball will look to stay undefeated as they take on the Wisconsin Badgers in the Maui Invitational. Game time is set for 1 p.m. on Monday with pregame starting at 12:30. We'll have our full coverage for you here on 92.1 FM KXEZ, your Texas A&M home for your Metroplex home for Texas A&M football and men's basketball. So these two teams, like I mentioned, are two of the best in the area, both 10-1, both winners of their district. Frisco win in their District 7 5A, and South Oak Cliff their District 6 5A. And we talked about how this Frisco team is a powerhouse of a running team, although they're being held in check right now by the South Oak Cliff defense and defensive line. They came into this game, Frisco Raccoons, came in the leading 5A area team in rushing with 336.6 yards per game. Just a crazy, crazy number. Wyatt Carson, the quarterback, came in 41-78, just 53% for 983 yards and 9 touchdowns. Only 1 interception. They don't throw the ball at all. I mean, if they do, it's going to be in very limited times, very short downs, and that's what they're going for, as they have 3 really good running backs that can do a lot of damage for them. One being Jordan Hamilton, 65 carries, 626 yards coming in with 10 touchdowns. He's already got 65 yards in this game. Actually 62 to be exact. And then Bradford Martin, who we haven't seen at all, as he must be listed out. Folks, we don't get a full injury report, being as it is high school sports. But he is, haven't played a single snap here in the first half of play. Bradford Martin, 107 carries, 908 yards, 6 touchdowns. He averages 100.9 yards per game and 8.5 per carry. We have seen a lot of Brandon Mayazono, though. 77 yards here in that first half. He comes into the game with 67 carries, 765 yards total on the ground with 11.4 per rush and 10 touchdowns. Another guy we have seen on the field, but haven't seen him make a big play or any sort of play action on the offensive end is Dylan Harden. Came into this game, 56 rushes, 391 yards, and 14 rushing touchdowns. So when they get closer, that's really who they use in that red zone kind of look. Harden also has 12 receptions on the year for 271 yards and 22.5 yards per reception and 3 touchdowns. 17 touchdowns total for Dylan Harden, who has had a very quiet game in this one. Drew Johnson on the defensive end. This defense for Frisco is another outstanding feat as Drew Johnson comes in with 55 total tackles, 2 tackles for losses, and 4 interceptions. He leads the team. Graham Hawks comes in, leads the team in sacks with 6, 27 total tackles, but 9 quarterback pressures. So Graham Hawks is really going to have to get after it in this game, in the second half against Kevin Henry Jennings, who, man, he can throw the ball, and everybody knows that because he has improved greatly in the past year. Hawks also has 2 forced fumbles on the season. Jalen Griffin comes in with 5 sacks, 5 quarterback pressures, 4 tackles for losses with a fumble recovery and a forced fumble. Landon Carson comes in with 5 sacks, and Brian Maizono on the defensive end, doing it both ways, 69 total tackles, among the team leaders in total tackles, with 1 sack, 7 tackles for losses. We've seen that happen a couple of times here in the first half, and with 2 interceptions. So this Frisco defense is no slouch, but this Henry Jennings-led South Oak Cliff Golden Bear offense is nothing to sleep on either. A couple of numbers for the offensive side for South Oak Cliff. Kevin Henry Jennings, 95 for 139 on the year. That's 69% passing percentage on 2,178 yards, 31 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. That is what amazes me. 31 touchdowns, 95 passes completed, 140 passes attempted, and only 2 interceptions. He's also got 5 touchdowns on the ground with 200 yards and 16 carries going into this one. He's got a touchdown pass in this one, so make it 32 total touchdowns on the year. DeAndre Hollywood. This is another rushing attack that they use a lot. I mean, both these teams will utilize the ground game more than anything, and we've seen that here in the first half. DeAndre Hollywood, 59 carries, 783 yards, 12 touchdowns in 4 games of 100-plus rushing yards. Quaylen Farrar, who we've seen with a touchdown run, a 21-yard touchdown run, 56 carries, 647 yards, and 11 touchdowns. Jamari Cawley, 25 receptions, that leads the team, or 25 receptions, number 2 on the team. 780 yards leads the team with 9 touchdowns. Randy Reese with 9 touchdowns. And Kylan Mathis with 9 touchdowns. 3 receivers that Kevin Henry Jennings loves to spread out, spread the wealth, and all with over 20 receptions. Reese with 644 yards, and Ty Mathis with 359 yards. 21-10 the halftime score. I mean, we run through the numbers here at KXEZ, so I hope you got all that down. You got your pen and paper out, your notepad, whatever you use, type it all in, because that is what we do. We check out the numbers from all these guys, especially the high school level. The numbers can get crazy. Well, we have a kind of a, I don't want to say a defensive game, but it's kind of been that way. It's 21-10 here at halftime. South Oak Cliff over Frisco from Globe Life Field in Arlington on 92.1 FM KXEZ.
This is the Possum, 92.1 KXEZ, Farmersville, Dallas, and KXEZ.com.
Back here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ, both the teams running out on the field. It's time for second half of football here in the area round. 21-10, South Oak Cliff over Frisco, as the Frisco Raccoons will kick off because Well, because South Oak Cliff won the toss, deferred to the second half. They got an 11-point lead over the Frisco Raccoons in the fourth year in a row this matchup has happened in this round. I know. I'll say it over and over again. That's the main storyline here. Well, the main storyline is a trip to the third round of the playoffs against either a Frisco Liberty team or a dangerous Aledo program that has been unstoppable lately. All getting lined up. I'll remind you of the uniforms down there. Frisco, the Raccoons, in their blue jerseys, white numbers, gold trim around those numbers, white pants, and white helmets with that big Texas symbol and F on the Texas and the logo. Beautiful, beautiful design right there from Frisco ISD. South Oak Cliff in their white on white helmet, white jersey, white pants with their gold numbers and gold trim. Marshall on to kick off for Frisco, and we're underway in the second half from Globe Life Field in Arlington. Fielded by Thomas in the middle of the end zone. He takes it out 5 yards deep, past the 10-yard line, past the 15, stopped up a bit, and down he goes across that 15 to about the 17-yard line. We saw Javon Thomas a big-time punt return back from his own 5-yard line down to the 30-yard line. But now gets wrapped up and gets them only to the 15-yard line for South Oak Cliff. We'll see Kevin Henry Jennings come out there to lead his Golden Bears team. 5 of 8 for him on the day. 62.5% passing. 1 touchdown pass. It was a 39-yard strike to Manny Muhammad. He lines up with Quaylen Farrar to the right of him. Tied into the ball game. That's Jaquan Green. Man in motion. Randy Reese left to right. Hands at the middle. Farrar finds a hole. Sneaks past that hole. Dances around and down at the 25-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. They'll officially mark him at the 6-yard line. 26-yard line, that is. That'll be 2nd and 1. 9-yard gain. At the 16-yard line, in the shotgun is Kevin Henry Jennings. Farrar to the right of him. Play action. Looking left. Fires left. Band on the left sideline. Jump ball. Did he get it? He did. What a catch by Kai Mathis. His 4th reception of the game, and it's a big one inside Frisco territory down to the 36-yard line. Officially the 37. Big-time strike. And they're moving quickly. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left, going left to right from the left hash mark. Henry Jennings claps his hand. Play action. Pulls it out to the left side. There's Mayazono. Forcing him back to the right side, but Henry Jennings makes a miss and gets to the 35-yard line. A gain of 2 on the play. Make it 3 to the 34. 21-10, South Oak Cliff over Frisco. 10:55 and counting here in the third quarter of play. South Oak Cliff getting the ball to start the second half. They kicked off to start the game. Henry Jennings getting the sign from Coach Jason Todd at the sideline on the right side. Now calls the play out to his offensive line. Stands in the left hash mark. To the left of him is Farrar. Man in motion. Right to left is Reese. Hands off to Farrar. Up the middle he goes. Dances around. Swim move. Right to left. And brought down inside the 15-yard line, making the 25-yard line. First down, South Oak Cliff. It's actually a run by Keandre Hollywood. Ball will be placed at the 22-yard line. First down from there. 1st and 10 for South Oak Cliff. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left, tied into the ball game. That's Jaquan Green. Hollywood in at the running back to the left. Reese, man in motion, right to left. Play action. Kevin Henry Jennings fires left side. Helmet comes off. Caught by Kai Mathis. Fights his way inside the end zone where they call the play dead because the helmet came off. If the helmet comes off like that, that usually means something form of horse collar or face mask. We'll see what it is. They marked him down to the 4-yard line. The defender had his arm wrapped around the neck. It was Ismail Taylor and pulled the helmet off of Mathis.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 2. After distance to the goal. Automatic First down.
They called the play dead, but still fighting with his helmet off was Mathis, and he got into the end zone, but they called it dead at the 4-yard line. They gave him half the distance to the goal, though, at the 2. And now they'll line up in the shotgun. Green in at H-back, the tight end. 2 receivers to the right side from the left hash mark. Henry Jennings hands it off, up the middle. Farrar fighting for that goal line and doesn't get it. It's a big-time play by that linebacker, A.J. Yasili. Yasili engaged in a block and then stopped him right before the goal line. Under center he goes. Kevin Henry Jennings. And he pushes a pile, drives from the quarterback sneak. He didn't get it. He didn't get it. He was short, but 2 flags come in at the line of scrimmage. Ball is placed at the 1-yard line. Henry Jennings trying to go in there.
Lined up in the neutral zone at the snap. Defense, number 19. Half the distance to the goal. Replay, second down.
And the 3rd time we've seen that penalty be called. Lining up in the neutral zone. So replaying that second down. 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Farrar behind Kevin Henry Jennings. Pistol formation. Green at the tight end. They try to get him offside. Someone junkles. See what it is. Flags come in.
False start. Offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty. Still remains second down.
And a big-time penalty pushes back the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. Instead of 1st and goal from that 1-yard line, that pushes them back to the 6. It'll be 2nd and goal from that 6. Green the tight end on the right side of the formation. The receiver on the other side of the formation. Henry Jennings claps his hand, hands it off, up the middle. Quaylen Farrar, left side, dives for the end zone. Touchdown, South Oak Cliff. Quaylen Farrar, his 2nd touchdown of the ballgame. And runs in the 4th touchdown of the game for South Oak Cliff. Diego Varela on for the extra point try as Cedric Williams will hold. Snapper is Jordan Rowe for South Oak Cliff. 3 for 3 on the day is Diego Varela on these extra point tries, trying to make it 4 for 4. Low snap, gets it down, kick is up, and it's good. 28-10, South Oak Cliff over Frisco with 8:49 to go here in the 3rd quarter. You're listening to 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Backyard 92.1 FM, KXEZ, a 6-yard touchdown run by Quaylen Farrar. Now the ensuing kickoff. Here at the 15-yard line by Drew Johnson and pulls ahead across the 25-yard line as he gets this to the 28. 28-10, the score here in the 3rd quarter with 8:44 to go. 28-10. As I mentioned, 3 rushing touchdowns and a 31-yard touchdown pass by Kevin Henry Jennings out to Manny Muhammad in the 2nd quarter. 2 touchdown runs by Quaylen Farrar. He ran that one in from 6 yards just a minute ago. The other touchdown run was by Keandre Hollywood. This time, Wyatt Carson under center. Out to the right side. Hands it off to Brandon Maizono and gets to the 35 to 40. The 45-50 outside the right. Hash marks the right numbers. And out of bounds on the right side inside South Oak Cliff territory. Brandon Maizono doing what he's been doing all game long. Gets it to the 46-yard line. Big time gain on 1st down. 8:37 on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. 28-10, an 18-point lead for South Oak Cliff and Frisco. Trying to claw back into this one. From the right hash mark, under center is Wyatt Carson. Man in motion, left to right. That's A.J. Yasili. Hand off to the right side. Maizono again breaks the tackle across the 45, across the 40, still on his feet. The 35 and dragging defenders all the way down outside the right numbers and down to the 34-yard line. They'll officially give him the 33 and another 1st down for Frisco. Maizono hit at the line of scrimmage, puts his shoulder down, and he still runs through it. Marked down to the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 from there in South Oak Cliff territory. Yasili, the fullback. I formation to the right side. Flags come in before the play, and it looks like Frisco jump. We'll see what the call is.
False start. Offense number 8, 5-yard penalty.
Those Dasso referees
By
have...
rule, the home team cannot play their band while they're under center. So by rule, the band has to stop playing.
Oh, not the first time we've heard that or seen that. Actually, I want to say the last time we did was when we did this game a year ago. South Oak Cliff had that problem a year ago, and now referee addresses it this time. Under center goes Wyatt Carson. I formation, left side. Brandon Maizono this time wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Down he goes on 1st and 15. There's a handoff right up the gut. Trying to follow the fullback and a whole pack of Golden Bears. I think it's called a pack. Drug him down. Loss on the play. Loss of 1 on the play, making it 2nd and 16. Play action off to the right side, rolling to the right side is Carson on the run, hit his man, but can't make the catch. It was Maizono streaking across. There was a defender who got a hand on it, might have looked like, or at least disrupted it. And it'll bring up 3rd down. It'll be 3rd and 15 from the 39-yard line. 3rd and 16 from the 39-yard line. 28-10, 7:20 on the clock in the 3rd quarter. South Oak Cliff over Frisco in round 2, the area round of the high school playoff in Texas. Under center goes Wyatt Carson. Behind him is Maizono. Play action. Steps up in the pocket, looks to the right side, now tucks in a run, fires to the middle of the field, and caught at the 26-yard line, short of the 1st down mark.
Timeout. Timeout.
It was caught by Bradford Martin. And a timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. Quick 30 seconds. We'll be back on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Fourth and 4 from the 38-yard line, making the 26-yard line. 7:02 and counting here. They go for it. Reverse, off to the right side. Yasili trying to get outside and get the 1st down mark. And he's very close. And folks, I mean very close to the 1st down mark. I still don't know if he got a no signal by the referee. And he did. 1st down, Frisco. It was a fake handoff to Brian Maizono, and A.J. Yasili comes around to the left side and gets the 1st down, 1st and 10. From the 22-yard line, off to the right side, Maizono has some space. 20, 15, 10, and brought down inside the 10 at the 9-yard line.
Timeout.
Brandon Maizono. There's a downed Golden Bear at the 24-yard line. But Brandon Maizono with a big run to the 9-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal from there. The trainers come out to check on that down Golden Bear. We'll go over a couple of numbers so far here in the 3rd quarter with 6:35 left to go in this 3rd quarter. 28-10, South Oak Cliff over Frisco. Frisco on the move this drive. $13-yard run just right there by Brandon Maizono. Moving quickly on this one. 8:44 is when they started. 9-play drives. They ran it 63 yards on this one. And trying to cap it off inside the 10. A 1st and goal from that 9-yard line for Frisco. That injured Golden Bear for South Oak Cliff gets up and walks off the field under his own power. And it is Javon Thomas, who's had a nice game for South Oak Cliff. And Frisco will get back out there, ready to go. 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Under center goes Wyatt Carson. Behind him is Brian Brandon Maiazono. Bunch formation, nothing but tight ends, extra linemen. Yasili left to right, they go quarterback sneak. And Wyatt Carson gets through. He gets 5 yards to the 6-yard line, make it 3 yards to the 6-yard line on 1st and goal from the 9. It'll be 2nd and 6, 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line. Very odd play that far out. Maybe you want to do that closer to the goal line, but it was positive yardage. This time, they go quickly. Man to the right side. Carson, hands to Yasili. Fighting around, 5-yard line, fighting for the goal line. He's short. Short down to the 2. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. Yasili following his blockers, pushing forward. They'll give him the 3-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal from there. Well, you know they're going to keep it on the ground. They've done it all season long. This time, man, puts out to the right side. That's Abdul Muhammad. Make it Aaron Jamison Johnson out to the right side. Brandon Maiazono, he's in. There's a flag on the field, but for the time being, Frisco has a touchdown.
There's a snap. Offside, defense in the neutral zone.
And it stands.
It's on the play, touchdown.
A 3-yard touchdown run by Brandon Maiazono, his 2nd of the game. And Frisco is not going away so easily. A handoff off the guard to the right side, and Maiazono just powered his way for another score. Gavin Marshall will come on for the extra point try. Well, actually, there's another Golden Bear down there after the touchdown score. They're working on him. There's a timeout on the field. 28-10, 5:33 on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. Frisco now down by 12. Got to do my math for a second there, folks. 28-10. It's actually 28-16, pending the extra point from Gavin Marshall in the Frisco offense. They started this drive that ended in a touchdown now with 8:45 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Brought it all the way down to 3:33, just over 3.5 minutes, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Math is not my strong suit, folks. I'll tell you that. But I'm trying to add up all these numbers together for your benefit. And now, as the South Oak Cliff Golden Bear walks off the field with the help of a couple of trainers, looks like he'll be all right. Gavin Marshall on for the extra point try to cap off that 14-play drive by Frisco. Hold is down, kick is up, right through the upright. It's 28-17, 5:33 in the 3rd to go. South Oak Cliff still leads Frisco in this area round matchup on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. KXEZ 28-17 after the 3-yard touchdown run by Brandon Maiazono, his 2nd of the game. With a 14-play, 72-yard drive that took over 3 minutes off the clock here in the 3rd quarter. A nice drive, and they really needed it right now, Frisco, to get back into this one. It's an 11-point ball game, and Gavin Marshall will kick off for Frisco, one of the better kickers in the area, highly regarded as a big Power 5 school kicker. Javon Thomas is back there to receive for South Oak Cliff. Kickoff off to the left side, back to the end zone. Tried to field by Thomas. He drops it, picks it up. The 5-yard line, 10-yard line, has some space. 20, 25, kicks it out to the left side, past the numbers, the 30, the 35, 40, the 45, and finally down. The ball was kicked to the back of the end zone. Javon Thomas bobbled it, picked it up, and then ran it an extra 50 yards to the 43-yard line. Dangerous return, man, for South Oak Cliff. And instead of disaster happening in the back of the end zone, it's 1st and 10, starting their drive on their own 43. Great field position given to them by an excellent return man. We'll see Kevin Henry Jennings back out there from the left hash mark. To the left of him is Keandre Hollywood. 2 receivers on the left side, 1 to the right. Hand off to Hollywood, bouncing around. Left side outside the left hash mark and down to the 45-yard line. A gain of 3 on the play to the 46. That'll be 2nd and 4 from right there. 2nd and 7, I beg your pardon. On the left hash mark, Hollywood to the right of Kevin Henry Jennings. Play action, looking right. Jennings stepping up, firing a dart to the left side, and incomplete, intended for Manny Muhammad, but a flag comes in back toward the line of scrimmage. Referees getting together, talking it out. A little extra discussion to make sure they get this one right. Reminder of our sponsors here today. Right after this.
Offense, number 56. 10 yards from the previous spot. Still remains second half.
Holding on the offense. 10 yards from the previous spot will make it 1st and 10. 1st and 20, I beg your pardon. Smith Quality Greenhouses and Matt Rancho Martinez Tex-Mex are our sponsors for tonight's ball game on KXEZ. 28-17. 4:56 left to go in the third quarter of this area round matchup. South Oak Cliff has the 11-point lead and advantage over Frisco. Ball now on the 36-yard line. Hand off to the left side. Keandre Hollywood bounces it out to the 45 and out of bounds, and a big-time run on that 1st and 20. Gets all those yards back and then some. Hollywood, just some quickness to his lateral quickness, really. And a big gain on that 2nd and 20. Gets him to the 42-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 6 from the 42. Make it the 47. Shotgun for Kevin Henry Jennings. Play action. Fired to the slant to the right side. Hit by Reese. Caught by Reese and hit hard. That safety coming up for Frisco, Aaron Jamison Johnson, but a 1st down for South Oak Cliff. The first catch of the ball game for Randy Reese. First down to South Oak Cliff with 4:30 to go in the third. (28-17), South Oak Cliff over Frisco. Whistles come in.
The visiting team band does have to stop playing also once they're on the center.
And now warnings have been issued to both bands. One on the home side and now to the visiting side. 28-17 the score, 4:06 and counting in the third. Middle of the field from the 39, maybe the 41-yard line in Frisco territory. Handoff to Farrar. Up the middle he goes and wrapped up from behind the line of scrimmage. Graham Hawk doing what he does best, getting in the backfield and making plays for the Frisco Raccoons. They officially say no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 41-yard line, going in left to right in Frisco territory. Now from the right hash mark, Kevin Henry Jennings in the shotgun. Farrar to the right of him. He talks to his linemen. Everyone gets set. So does the tight end, Jaquan Green on the left side. Henry Jennings, quarterback keeper, out to the right side and trips up Brandon Maiazono. Coming in from the linebacker position, and a great open field tackle saves a 1st down and maybe more. That'll bring up 3rd down. It was a gain of 1 on the play. 3rd and 9 now from the 40 to make it the 39-yard line, a gain of 2. 3rd and 8 with 3 minutes approaching here in the third quarter of play. 28-17, South Oak Cliff over Frisco. Ball placed at the 39-yard line. From the right hash, going left to right. 2 receivers on the left, 1 to the right. In the shotgun is Kevin Henry Jennings. Hands up the middle. Keandre Hollywood meets Brandon Maiazono. He breaks free to the 30. Pushing for that 1st down mark at the 31-yard line. And finally pushed back. We'll see what the call is. He's right at the 1st down mark. Referee gives him the 31. The line to gain was the 31. We'll see what the officials say. And they're moving the chains. First down, South Oak Cliff. Keandre Hollywood ran into Brian Maizono, and Keandre stiff-armed him, rolled around to the left side, and took a couple of Raccoons with him across the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Stack the box to the left side on the left hash mark for Kevin Henry Jennings. Claps his hands, receives the snap. Play action. Tosses out to the right side and swatted down the line of scrimmage. Nice play by that linebacker. Tate Horton. They haven't called his name a bunch, but he makes a big play to knock the ball down after a bullet pass to the right side on the slant intended for Cawley from Kevin Henry Jennings. Makes it 2nd and 10 from the 31-yard line. Remember, it was a 31-yard touchdown strike in the first quarter, the second quarter, by Kevin Henry Jennings to Muhammad for a touchdown pass. This time, and up the middle. Keandre Hollywood bounce to the left side, outside the numbers, and brought down hard by Drew Johnson. Gain of 1 on the play, make it 2 to the 29-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 8. With 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter, 28-17. South Oak Cliff leads has an 11-point advantage over Frisco. These offenses both moving quickly, taking time off the clock. They got the ball back with about 5.5 minutes to go, and now it's 3rd and 8. 1:40 on the clock and ticking. Kevin Henry Jennings in the shotgun. Farrar to the right of him. Reese, man in motion, left to right. They toss it out to Reese. Jet sweep, right side, 30, 35, still on his feet. Brought down hard at the 24-yard line. They give him the 22, which is also close to the first down mark. That's good for the 21. A downed Raccoon. Near the 30-yard line, they are officially marking it a yard short at the 22. The line to gain for the first down is the 21. The injured Raccoon was Tate Horton, but he's getting up and going off the field under his own power. Let's see what Coach Jason Todd wants to do right now. And there was an injury timeout. The offense for South Oak Cliff huddles up at the sideline, and now they come back. One minute and counting here in the third quarter. 28-17. South Oak Cliff, they're going for it on 4th down. 4th and 1. Daquan Green, the tight end, into the ball game. 2 receivers on either side. 1 receiver on either side. With another tight end in the ball game on the left side. Henry Jennings in the shotgun with Farrar to the right of him. Awaiting the play clock. It's ticking down, and now whistles blow.
South Oak Cliff.
And
That's the first timeout of the second half.
Well, you heard the referee at timeout to South Oak Cliff on 4th and 1 with 41 seconds to go. 28-17 in the third quarter. Folks, if you love your plants like we do here at KXEZ, you'll protect them with a quality greenhouse from Smith's Quality Greenhouses. Metal and portable buildings, cabins and outdoor decor, you name it. Call Dustin Smith at 903-268-1694. Again, 903-268-1694. You'll like Dustin, of course, and be glad you made the call. Longtime friend of KXEZ, that Dustin Smith. That is Smith's Quality Greenhouses for you. Third quarter, 41 seconds. You might call this a turning point right now if South Oak Cliff can get it, and if Frisco can stop them on 4th and 1, it's going to be a huge momentum swing. Well, here we go from the right hash mark. Kevin Henry Jennings in the shotgun. Waylon Farrar to the left of him, a receiver on either side, 2 tight ends in the ball game. From Globe Life Field in Arlington, 4th and 1, biggest play of the night. Shotgun, Kevin Henry Jennings claps his hand, rides it out to the left side. Quarterback keeper, he didn't get it. Frisco stops him behind the line of scrimmage. A.J. Yasili.
The runner was short for the line of the game. Therefore, we got first down, Frisco.
First down, Frisco. Biggest play of the night defensively for the Raccoons, and Frisco prevailed. Kevin Henry Jennings tried to keep it on a reader. It was A.J. Yasili and Aaron Jamison Johnson coming in to stop Kevin Henry Jennings from getting the first down. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line for the Frisco Raccoons. And Wyatt Carson 36 seconds left in the third quarter, 28-17, South Oak Cliff over Frisco. Under center goes Carson. Toss out to the right side. Jordan Hamilton, 20-yard line, cuts it back upfield to the 25 and hit hard near the 30-yard line. Maybe down to the 29 officially. A big gain, or a nice gain rather, on first down. Makes it 2nd and 3. $15 seconds and ticking here in the third quarter. Trying to get another one in. Carson under center. Yasili lines up to the right side as a tight end. Jordan Hamilton, the running back behind him. They hand it to Hamilton. Pass in space. The 35-40. The 45 carrying the pile. Flag comes in and across midfield as the final play of the third quarter comes on a big gain by Jordan Hamilton. But there's a couple flags toward the end of that play. We'll see what they are. For the time being, it's a big gain to end the third quarter by Jordan Hamilton. Referees discussing what's going on. There's a 2nd and 3 run from the 29-yard line that got him inside South Oak Cliff territory to the 49. Long discussion right here. We'll see what it is.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding. Offense number 54. Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. Those penalties offset. We replayed it now. 1 untimed down for the end of the third quarter.
An untimed down now. So negate what just happened. Odd kind of instances and occurrence happening here in this game. First, it was the clock winding down and not stopping, which is the rule at the end of the first half. And now a offsetting penalty on a big run puts them back to replaying the down and an untimed down. Well, it's 2nd and 3 from the 29-yard line. Take away that Jordan Hamilton run of 30 yards. Or 20 yards, rather. And we'll see what Frisco draws up with no time left in the third. 28-17, South Oak Cliff over Frisco. Carson under center. Hamilton off to the right side, trying to do it again. The 30-yard line, pushing forward in the 35.
That's the end of the third
He got the 34-yard line and a first down for Frisco. As the final play of the third quarter looms a big one for Frisco. 28-17. On to the fourth quarter we go. South Oak Cliff leads in the area round on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Start of the fourth quarter we go. 28-17. South Oak Cliff over Frisco. 92.1 FM KXEZ is your Metroplex home for Texas A&M football and men's basketball. The Aggie football team is going to play host to Prairie View on Saturday, with the kickoff being at 11 a.m. with the pregame at 10. We'll have our full coverage for you here on 92.1 FM KXEZ. 1st and 10 for Frisco, now going left to right, still in their own territory, but a big play defensively on the last possession by South Oak Cliff. First South Oak Cliff as a turnover on downs. Now, Wyatt Carson, hands off to the right side. No, it's A.J. Yasili up the middle, but going nowhere. Actually going backwards, a loss of 1 on the play. A.J. Yasili trying to get something going. They staked it to Jordan Hamilton, but right there to make the stop was South Oak Cliff's Cortland Kidd. He's got a nice game on the defensive line. 20 seconds off the clock in the fourth, 28-17. Frisco trying to claw the way back into it. They've done a good job so far. Under center goes Wyatt Carson. Stack the box. Bunch formation. Yasili motion left to right. Hands off to Jordan Hamilton across the 30-yard line. And a gain of a couple on the play gets him to the 32. Approaching a minute off the clock here in the fourth quarter. 28-17 the score. Under center goes Wyatt Carson. A receiver on the other side of the formation. Under center, rolls out to the left side, bootleg, makes a man miss, still on his feet. The 20, the 25, the 30, and finally brought down near the original line of scrimmage. The ball comes out. The ball comes out, but they're saying he was down before that happened. The ball will get to the 36-yard line, and the punt unit will come out for Frisco. Oh, what actually happened is a pitch and a shovel pass forward. I didn't have the angle. Josh Johnson, the tight end, came in, made a nice play. And the ball will be spotted, well, at that 36, so it will be 4th and 9 with 2 minutes off the clock here in the fourth quarter. Mason Stallings, the punter for Frisco, and the dangerous Javon Thomas to receive for South Oak Cliff. Good snap. Rugby-style punt off to the right side for the numbers. It bounces at the 30, takes a nice roll at the 20. Inside the 20 it goes, and a nice kick to flip the field position by Mason Stallings. And the defense for Frisco is going to have to hold one more time. 9:45 on the clock, 28-17, South Oak Cliff over Frisco. We'll talk about those Texas A&M men's basketball team. They're undefeated, 4-0. They'll look to stay undefeated on Monday as they take on the Wisconsin Badgers in the Maui Invitational. Game time set for 1 p.m. with pregame starting at 12:30. Go join Andrew Tomiko. From the left hash mark now, 28-17, 9:45 on the clock for Kevin Henry Jennings. Hands it up the middle, dancing around. Quaylen Farrar, past the 20, past the 25, and a big gain on first down. Gets the first down for South Oak Cliff to the 28-yard line. Man, they've been doing that all night long. Quaylen Farrar really having his way with his defense. A couple of touchdowns for him. Now trying to really put this one on ice. 11-point lead for South Oak Cliff on the left hash mark. Trips to the left side. They're stacked at the 30-yard line at the numbers. Hand off the middle, and some space. The 30, the 35, the 40. Quaylen Farrar, the 50, the 45 outside the right numbers, finding his way out of bounds at a huge gain. Quaylen Farrar knocked out of bounds at the 29-yard line, chased down by Aaron Jamison Johnson. Got a beautiful block by his offensive lineman. And took it as far as he possibly could. Now they're lined up at the 29-yard line. 1st and 10 from there. Trips to the right side. They're stacked to the numbers. DeAndre Hollywood to the right side of Kevin Henry Jennings. Flags come in. A man moves.
To the snap. Ball start. Offense number 58. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
It was Brioni Ramsey Brooks. Jumped a bit. 6'5", 350 pounds. That big boy got a little too happy down there. Cost the team 5 yards. Back they go. 1st and 15 from the 27-yard line. Make it the 34-yard line. I don't even know what I was thinking. Ball placed to the 34. 1st and 15. Going left to right. Make it right to left on the right hash mark. Henry Jennings in the shotgun to the left of him. It's DeAndre Hollywood. Trips out to the right side. One far to the left side. That's Colley. Claps his hands. Takes the snap. Play action. Pump fake. Looks to the right side. Fires to the middle. Overshot his man. Randy Reese in the middle of the field, incomplete, 2nd and 15. Second and 15 with 8:59 on the clock in the fourth quarter, 28-17. Frisco trying to make another defensive stop. They came up big last possession that South Oak Cliff had. This time trying to do it again. Trips to the right side, make it doubles on either side. Doubles wide receiver set. 2 receivers on either side. DeAndre Hollywood to the right of Kevin Henry Jennings. They hand off to Hollywood. Pass it out to the left side. The 30, the 25 gets outside the numbers. The 20, 15, still on his feet. 10, 5, touchdown South Oak Cliff. Well, I see why they call him Hollywood. Dancing around in the backfield. And a big-time strike from the 33-yard line, a 33-yard run for DeAndre Hollywood, his second of the ball game. He had 2 last week in the first round. And South Oak Cliff extends their lead. Diego Varela on for the extra point try. Cedric Williams on to hold. Kick is up, and kick is good. 35-17, South Oak Cliff opens it up and pretty much puts this one on ice. We'll see if Frisco can claw their way back in with 8:49 on the clock in the fourth. You're listening to 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ, a 33-yard run by Keandre Hollywood. Makes it a 35-17 ball game. And South Oak Cliff extends their lead. Gorilla on to kick off for the Golden Bears. Drew Johnson fields it at the 13-yard line. Gets it away, but doesn't go very much further. Got away from one tackle, and down he goes. Colton Elamine comes in, makes the tackle on special teams, and holds them right there at the 17-yard line. A scoring drive for South Oak Cliff. 6 plays, 83 yards. Take about a minute off the clock on that drive as Keandre Hollywood caps it off with a 33-yard run. And now Wyatt Carson try to lead his offense. Hand off to Maizono off to the left side and going nowhere. Actually going backwards. Well, they'll give him forward progression to the 20, make it the 17-yard line, 2nd and 10. 8:32 on the clock and counting, 35-17. South Oak Cliff leads it in the area round. The 4th time they've met in the past 4 years. Leads it over the Frisco Raccoons, 8:20 on the clock. Wyatt Carson under center. Maizono behind him. Handoff up the middle. There it goes. Maizono on the run past the 25-yard line. Gets close to the 30 to the 29. And a first down for Frisco. Maizono has had a fantastic game for Frisco. Over 100 yards. I mean, he's got 131 yards and 2 touchdowns on 18 carries, 7.5 per carry. This time, Jordan Hamilton into the ballgame. Handoff up the middle. Ducks around left to right. Makes a move past the 35-yard line and gets to the 38. Make it a 37. Close to the first down mark. They'll give him the 38. And he's about a yard short of that. Second and 1 from the 38-yard line. 7:15 and counting left in this one to go. 35-17, South Oak Cliff over Frisco. Power I formation. Yasili the fullback. Jordan Hamilton the running back. Hand off to Hamilton. Right side and there was somebody dropped a mic as the boom mic went off. As soon as that snap came out. And Jordan Hamilton will not get the first down. I thought they were going to move it, but no. It's sitting at the 37-yard line. Lost to 1 on the play. 39-yard line is the line to gain. It'll be 3rd and 2. 6.5 to go in this one. 35-17. South Oak Cliff over Frisco. Hamilton, the running back. Carson under center. Off to the right side and pushing forward now. Jordan Hamilton gets to 39 and gets the first down for Frisco. First down for the Raccoons. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. $223 yards of total offense for the Frisco Raccoons. 189 on the ground. Big chunk of that is Maizono. Hamilton off to the left side, off the left guard, and going nowhere. There's a down Raccoon near the 42-yard line on the far side. He gets up to help with one of his teammates. Ball will be spotted at the 40-yard line, so a gain of 1 on the play. 2nd and 9 from the 40. Maizono checks back into the ball game for Jordan Hamilton, who comes out, gets a breather, and they'll try to run this one quickly. Middle of the field, Carson under center, side into the ball game. He rolls this one out to the left side, fires to the left side, and incomplete. Incomplete, intended for the tight end, Josh Johnson. That'll bring up 3rd and 9. We haven't seen a lot of pass plays from this offense from Frisco. So with 5:12 left, you might try to open it up now, down by 18. 35-17 the score. South Oak Cliff last score to make it 35 points for them with a 33-yard run by Keandre Hollywood. That capped off their 8-play drive. Going 80 yards, 83 yards to be exact. Now it's tripped to the left side, and a timeout is going to be called by Coach Jeff Harbert in his 3rd year as the Frisco head coach. Timeout on the field, and we'll take one as well. Back in 30 seconds on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Remember, tomorrow, folks, we're back on the air with our coverage of Texas high school playoffs. We'll have the area round matchup between the Quinlan Ford Panthers and the Pittsburgh Pirates from Gerald Friends Stadium in Sulphur Springs. Kickoff at 7 p.m., pregame at 6:45. Tune in to 92.1 FM KXEZ, your Metroplex leader. And high school sports, 3rd and 9 for the Frisco Raccoons, down by 18 points, 35-17. Shotgun, empty backfield for Wyatt Carson. Takes the draw, looks to the left side, fires on the slant, and caught at the 50-yard line. Caught at the 50-yard line, and a first down for the Frisco Raccoons.
Injury, timeout.
AJ is still on the slant route from the slot. Try saying that 5 times fast. But now he is on the ground right where he made that catch and was tackled at the 47-yard line of South Oak Cliff. 5:02 on the clock. 35-17 the score. South Oak Cliff has the 18-point advantage over Frisco. Yes, Silly gets up, walks off to the sideline under his own power. Thanks again to our sponsors, Smith Quality Greenhouse and Matt Rancho Martinez Tex-Mex. Remember, folks, can't get us here at 92.1 FM KXEZ. You can go to the TuneIn Radio app or TuneInRadio.com. Tell your out-of-town family and friends about TuneIn Radio. Under center goes Carson. Off to the left side, they hand it. Trying to get outside on the sweep, but nothing's happening. They try to get it to Dylan Harden, who's been very quiet in this game, and he goes backwards, way backwards, back into his own territory, down to the 46-yard line of Frisco. So a big loss on first down. Loss of 6 on the play. From the 46-yard line, 2nd and 16, and the shotgun is Wyatt Carson. Play action, rolling to the right side, has Josh Johnson. 50, 45, 40, still on his feet. 35, 30, and a big-time first down on the pitch and catch from Wyatt Carson. That's Josh Johnson. First down, Frisco. 4:11 on the clock. I've got to strike quickly if they want to get back in this one. Ball at the 30-yard line. From the right hash mark, going left to right, Wyatt Carson. In the shotgun. To the right of him is Brandon Mayazono. Shotgun, play action, rolling to the right side. Carson has his man up the middle. Mayazono, 10, 5, touchdown Frisco. It's not over yet. Brandon Mayazono with a 30-yard touchdown reception from Wyatt Carson. His 3rd touchdown of the ball game. Brandon Mayazono, 2 rushing, 1 receiving. And it's Gavin Marshall on for the extra point try. Low snap, hold gets down, kick is up, and it's good. 35-24 the score. South Oak Cliff still with the lead with 3:50 to go in the 4th quarter. They've got a lead in the area round, trying to make it to the 3rd round for the first time in a couple of years on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM, KXEZ was a 30-yard touchdown pass from Carson Amayazono, who's been playing brilliant. I've mentioned his name many times. All game long. I'll try to get that scoring drive for you here in a bit. As it is, Gavin Marshall will kick off. Their South Oak Cliff Golden Bears are playing like they're going to onside kick it, and we might see that. You never know, especially down by a couple of scores, by 11 points. We'll see what Jeff Harbert wants to do, the head coach of the Frisco Raccoons. Marshall on to kick off for Frisco. And it's a pooch kick, sky kick, out to the 25-yard line, rolls out of bounds. There'll be a penalty on Frisco.
Kick out of bounds. Kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 30-yard line. First down, South Oak Cliff.
We heard the referee. Ball placed at the 30-yard line. South Oak Cliff will take it. Kevin Henry Jennings trying to ice this one. 35-24 the score with 3:50 left to go. Frisco needs something to happen. A turnover. Big time stop defensively. We'll see what's going on. Henry Jennings in the shotgun. To the right of him is Keandre Hollywood. Here's the snap. Hollywood up the middle. Has some space to the 35-yard line. And takes a couple of Raccoons and some Raccoons to knock him down at the 48. Give him a generous spot, but there it is. It'll be 2nd and 2. Second and 2, and they're going to run this clock down as far as possible. 3:20 and counting in the fourth quarter. From the 38-yard line. South Oak Cliff 35, Frisco 24. Fourth time they've seen each other in the past 4 years in this area round. Frisco leads that series 2-1. Keandre Hollywood to the right of Henry Jennings. Hands it off the left guard, and brought down hard behind the line of scrimmage. Lance Carson comes in, makes a big-time play for Frisco, brings up a 3rd down. It'll be 3rd and 2 from the 38, no gain. Well, this is kind of the game right here. 3rd and 2. Line to gain is the 40. They're at the 38. In the shotgun is Henry Jennings. Jaquan Green, the tight end for South Oak Cliff. Hollywood to the left to Jennings. They hand it off. Jennings bounces it outside, trying to get outside. He's got the first down, the 40, the 45. Bounces it outside the left numbers and stays in bounds. A smart play by Keandre Hollywood, who slides down instead of getting forced out of bounds outside the numbers to the 45-yard line of Frisco. And the clock runs with 2:12 and counting in the fourth. We'll see what Coach Jeff Harbert wants to do with his timeouts now. That last scoring drive, we finally got it. 15 plays, 53 yards, with about 5 minutes off the clock. For Frisco, 35-24, 1:45 in counting in the fourth quarter. And up the middle, Quaylon Farrar bounces out to the left side, outside the numbers, the 40, the 45, the 35 on the in, and still staying in bounds, and he lays down before getting pushed out of bounds. He gets it to the 32-yard line and a first down for South Oak Cliff, and folks, that just might have done it. Minute and a half left to go in this one, and South Oak Cliff, just ridiculous. All the talk, I've seen a couple of articles coming out saying that they aren't really a number 5 team in 5A in the state of Texas. Well, man, they played like it tonight. Defense all over the place. Running game is there and led by Kevin Henry Jennings. They're the real deal. Left hash mark. Henry Jennings hands off the middle to Quaylon Farrar. And Farrar gets it to the 30-yard line. No, the 31.
Timeout. Frisco. That's their second timeout of the half.
And now Coach Jeff Harbert calls his timeout with 56 seconds left to go in this one. 35-24, South Oak Cliff over Frisco. barring any sort of miracle, it's an 11-point game, so Frisco, I mean, there's chances. I mean, a fumble return for a touchdown and then an onside kick. A lot of things could happen in 56 seconds. But the way this game is going, South Oak Cliff has been, well, really unstoppable, especially here in the second quarter offensively. They've been stopped one time on a 4th and 1, and that was the big highlight for the defense for Frisco. But barring anything crazy like that, South Oak Cliff is going to play the winner of Aledo and Frisco Liberty. That game's going to be played tomorrow at 7, and we all know how Aledo is. 4 straight state championships. There's nothing to overlook. And that'll be them for the first time since 2018 in the playoffs. Henry Jennings in the shotgun to the right of him is DeAndre Johnson, or DeAndre Hollywood. And off to Hollywood, and brought down behind the line of scrimmage by Cole Hudson, the University of Texas commit. This might be his last game in high school.
Frisco, that's their third and final timeout of the half.
And on that first down run, he goes backwards. Or 2nd and 9 run goes backwards 2 yards, making it 3rd and 11 from the 33-yard line. Last time out of the game for Frisco with 52 seconds on the clock. 3rd and 9, anything can happen right here. We'll see if Coach Jason Todd elects to play it safe with a run, or maybe tries to take the nail out and hammer it right into the coffin for Frisco. 52 seconds on the clock, 35-24 the score. Frisco tried to claw their way back, but South Oak Cliff answered every chance they got. 3rd and 11, 33-yard line. 4th quarter, area round of the Texas 5A high school playoff. $11-point advantage, South Oak Cliff over Frisco. 2 receivers to the right side, stack a couple tight ends into the box. Hollywood to the right of Henry Jennings. Claps his hand, direct snap to Hollywood. Off to the left side, makes a couple of men miss. Past the 35, past the 30, and down at the 26-yard line. No first down. And we'll see what the call is. 43 seconds on the clock. Folks,
due to the helmet coming off on the defense, we'll have a 10-second runoff. Please set the clock to 36 seconds, and we'll start on my signal.
Wow. Well, folks, seems to go that way sometimes, doesn't it? Frisco put up a valiant effort against one of the best teams in Texas. And, I mean, they're no slouch themselves. 10-1 on this season. Coming into this one. The only loss was a 38-15 loss in district to Lovejoy at Lovejoy. Team's got a lot of promise. 22 seconds and counting in the 4th, 35-24, and South Oak Cliff looking like they're going to take it. They'll have to take one more timeout as the play clock's down to 2-1, and now flags come in.
Timeout. South Oak Cliff.
And they call the timeout.
South Oak Cliff has called a timeout. 1 second on the clock.
35-24 the score. Six seconds on the clock, and South Oak Cliff is going to punch their ticket to the 3rd round. Last regional appearance. That's the regional round. The 3rd round is that regional round. The last appearance there was in 2018, and then back in 2016. They lost to Mesquite Poteet in 16 and Aledo back in 18. So looking at things the way, you know, that usually happens, Aledo might take down a Frisco Liberty. They'll get their revenge, or try to get their revenge on what happened 3 years ago. Henry Jennings in the shotgun, talking to his line, moves him over. We'll either see a run by DeAndre Hollywood or a kneel down. 6 seconds left. They hand it off to Hollywood, who breaks the tackle inside the 25, the 20, and goes down at the 17-yard line, and that'll do it.
That's the end of the ball game.
South Oak Cliff meets Frisco in Arlington and takes them down. 35-24, the final from Globe Life Park in Arlington. Globe Life Field in Arlington. It's been one heck of a game, and you really see why this team, the South Oak Cliff team, is ranked number 5 in the state of Texas in 5A. An outstanding game. We'll finish the break, and we'll come back. We'll have our final word and a look ahead on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ, the final here from Globe Life Field in Arlington. South Oak Cliff 35, the Frisco Raccoons 24. Fourth time this matchup has happened in the area around, and South Oak Cliff prevailed to even up that series 2-2. A couple of numbers for this team for South Oak Cliff: 22 first downs, with 482 total yards of offense. Only 95 came through the air with Kevin Henry Jennings at the quarterback. He was 9 of 14 with 95 yards and a touchdown. A long touchdown pass, 31 yards to Manny Muhammad. Rushing yards, total 387 for the game for South Oak Cliff. They had 9.44 yards per carry. Really crazy, outstanding number right there. 8 penalties for South Oak Cliff, 8 penalties for Frisco for 55 yards. No turnovers for South Oak Cliff, and for Frisco, 18 first downs, 276 yards of total offense. 71 came through the air, 205 came by way of the ground attack. They averaged 5 yards per carry and had 1 turnover, a fumble loss on a special teams play. Individual numbers for South Oak Cliff: Kevin Henry Jennings, 9 of 14, like I mentioned, had that touchdown pass. Quaylen Farrar, 200 yards on the day, just a crazy number on 15 attempts, 13 and a third yards per attempt on 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Hollywood, 19 attempts for 154 yards and 2 touchdowns. Manny Muhammad, just the 1 catch for 31. And Kylan Mathis, 5 receptions for 45 yards. No touchdowns there, though. Randy Reese had 2. DeAndre Hollywood had 1. The individual stats for Frisco: Wyatt Carson, 7 of 10 on the day. 1 touchdown pass. Jordan Hamilton, 12 attempts rushing on the ground, 83 yards, no touchdowns. Brandon Mayazono, who was by far and beyond the bright spot for this Frisco Raccoons team, an outstanding player. He comes in as a junior, so, next year is going to be bright for the Frisco team, and especially led by Mayazono, who had 20 rushes for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. We add that to a 30-yard catch for a touchdown. He has himself 170-plus yards of total offense and 3 touchdowns. He accounted for every single one of the touchdowns for Frisco. And it is South Oak Cliff, the Golden Bears, moving on to the 3rd round of the Texas High School Playoffs in 5A, taking on the winner of Aledo and Frisco Liberty. They play tomorrow at 7 p.m. at Denton Apoche Stadium in UNT Stadium. An outstanding game plan and victory by head coach Jason Todd in the Frisco Raccoons season. And really, what a heck of a season it was. Just their 2nd loss of the year. And for South Oak Cliff, they move on to 11-1 on an 11-win streak. They lost the first game to Duncanville, 42-27. They're a 6A team. And since then, they have not looked back. And right now, the closest game of the year was this one. 11-point victory, 35-24. The final score from Globe Life Field in Arlington. And so that'll do it. Before we go, I'd like to thank our sponsors one last time, Smith's Quality Greenhouses and Matt Rancho Martinez Tex-Mex Cuisine. Beautiful stuff out there. Y'all go try it out. Just a reminder, our coverage of high school playoffs in North Texas will not stop. We're back at it tomorrow. We have the area round matchup between Quinlan Ford, those are the Panthers, and the Pittsburgh Pirates for you from Gerald Prim Stadium in Sulphur Springs. Kickoff at 7 p.m., pregame at 6:45. So be sure to tune in to 92.1 KXEZ, your Metroplex leader in high school sports. For Ethan Brooks, our amazing studio engineer back in the KXEZ studio, I'm Ethan Herrera for 92.1 FM KXEZ, wishing you a good night from Globe Life Field in Arlington.
This is the Possum, 92.1 KXEZ, Farmersville, Dallas, and KXEZ.com.